loves to be in the river, in a creek. He ain't got no beat. He's a guru. Okay. That was my Jay Shetty rap. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. All the support is important to me. Hey everybody, I'm just chilling in the creek behind my house with my bestie, Jay Shetty. We got legs on top, heads on bottom, the way I like it. That's the way I like to, yeah. All right, I'm in a silly, goofy mood today. Look at these nails. I got new press-on nails. Only 3 have come off since Sunday, so there you go. And they started, okay, here's the nail. They started off this size, looks really good, very not blurry. And now they're this size because I couldn't take the click, 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 click of the nails that are regular sized. So I chopped them down. Anyways, that's what's going on in my life. Thank you for bearing with me. I was gone last week, but I'm back, baby, back and better than ever. And was hyped up on coffee because I took a little nappy. Don't tell my boss, during the workday. And it's Thursday. It's nap Thursday. Everyone knows that. And then I needed a little pick-me-up, a little coffee, a little Starbucks veranda brand, anybody? To get me going here. So
I have full body chills right now.
I have new sound bites on deck as well.
I was a waitress at Denny's.
And never you forget it. Okay, so where do we begin? So Jay Shetty interviews people. If you didn't know, he interviewed Joe Biden. He interviewed, who else did he interview? Someone else interesting. Will Smith. He interviews everybody, okay, in the world. He is the only Jay Shetty. And did you know he's on tour? Gonna be on tour soon? Here you go. This is his tour schedule. If you have plans, where is he? If you're in Boston, Massachusetts right now, you can still go to the show, probably. There's probably scalpers out there meditating outside with tickets to sell. And he's on tour. Now, you might wonder how a guru of life can go on a tour. But he does it. He does it all. And if you want tickets, there are various prices depending on the location. But if you want the real guru enlightened experience, you can buy the limited VIP package, meet and greet meditation package. Pay to sit in a theater and close your eyes and focus inward for an extra, I don't know, $500 or something. This is an option to upgrade. So you have to buy the ticket and then you can upgrade, okay? 1 ticket reserved rows 1 to 10. You get a meet and greet and individual photo op with Jay Shetty. Ugh, priceless, am I right? Pre-show meditation and Q&A with Jay Shetty. 1 commemorative VIP laminate and lanyard. Early entry on-site VIP host and event staff. And then there's the pre-show meditation package. That's less, I guess. You don't get to actually meet the Jay Shetty. You just get to watch him on stage sitting crisscross applesauce, connecting with the source energy of the room. I just love that like someone's crying and hugging him as if he's like some sort of healer or something. Love it. I love the aesthetic. And I just love him sitting in this creek in a chair like he's on Vogue or something. And it's like, yes, I will change your life. Here's me serving face. Anyways, that's what he's up to. And then he's going to be interviewing Benny Blanco and Selena Gomez. I don't know much about this couple. I know less about Benny Blanco. I never heard of him ever until he came on the scene. He was like, I love Selena Gomez with all my heart and I just love her. It's not his accent, but that's all I've heard him say. And Selena Gomez, I have several problems with. First of all, I just think she's annoying. I'm sorry. There's no real backing as to why I feel that way. I just feel like anytime I've ever seen her, I've just been like, not interested. But the 2 things I don't like about her, she started this mental health startup, okay? And I thought it was kind of weird back in 2021 when it opened. I'm like, what is it actually? They were making it seem like it was this revolutionary new thing. Like, oh, we're going to combat mental health problems by starting a blog. It's like, Okay, I don't really understand what they actually do. It's called Wondermind. And apparently it had some controversy even from the beginning where like a different mental health related company was called Wondermind, and she allegedly came in and like, stole the name, I guess. I don't know the details on it. But really what it seems like a website with articles. And now it's actually, and it's of course manifestation with a tub of cash is what's to offer on this mental health wellness website. And it seems like, apparently, according to the news cycle, people who are associated with this, like people on the payroll, haven't gotten paid in some amount of time. They haven't paid their vendors. Like, let's talk about mental health. The one thing that would ruin anyone's mental health, in my opinion, is not getting paid on time. So maybe we should fix that before, continuing on with the business. Anyways, so I don't really love that about Selena Gomez. I'm not a fan of, this. And at one point she was like hosting a podcast about mental health. It's like, who are you to do that? Anyways, that's my whole rant on that. The other thing I don't like about Selena Gomez is that she got a kidney. Now, this is something I talked about on Cringefluencers, my other platform with Camellia that we had like a couple years ago. And we talked about it. So if you want to go back and watch the whole thing, we talked about it at length. But Selena Gomez got a kidney from her friend, and there was a lot of controversy about that at the time because there were some questions as to whether she got the kidney, like, did the friend actually get to make the decision to give her the kidney, or like was she coerced into giving her kidney? And then there's like a rule, I guess, from the doctors, like, hey, do not drink alcohol. You have a donated kidney, like you don't want to, make it be corrupted or whatever. And Selena then was like found drinking, or she was like, on paparazzi photos drinking alcohol. And the friend was upset because she's like, my, quality of life has decreased because I gave you my kidney and now you're like abusing my organ essentially by drinking. And then I guess Selena Gomez was like, I hate you. And got rid of that friend that gave her a kidney. And I thought, obviously this is all secondhand information. I have no idea if that actually happened, but that was her perspective. And I thought like, geez, if someone gave me their kidney, I think I would respect their wishes forever and ever. But that's just me. I'm no billionaire like Selena Gomez, who also, the last controversy I'll talk about before we start this episode is she apparently is a self-made billionaire, but now I guess the people who decide if you're a billionaire or not are starting to say, actually, she's not a billionaire. She's only a 700 millionaire. So she's a loser in my book. She's not a Billy lady in my world. Okay?
It's time to go hunt that cha-ching.
That's what Selena Gomez says every morning before she wakes up. Also, last thing I'll say, Selena Gomez's voice is very weird. It's very weird. I'm sorry. It's just weird. And she doesn't open her mouth very much when she speaks. So get ready for that. I have not seen this interview. FYI, I've seen the first intro, which I've cut because it has music in it. But this is my prediction of what's going to happen in this video. I'm Selena Gomez, and I'm going to say that I love my boyfriend. And then the other guy is going to say something, and then Jay Shetty's going to say, whoa, that's amazing. That's amazing. I can't believe you just said that. That's so insightful. That's not his accent either. Okay. Let me shut the heck up and get to the meat of this, okay? Are we ready? Are we all ready?
Yes.
Oh, look who's ready. Speaking of who's ready, yay! I love her. Is there anyone better in this world than Taro?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You're too cute, little goofy girl. Okay, you could use the audio board, okay? Taro's controlling the audio. All right, here you go. On Purpose, a podcast by Jay Shetty. Jay Shetty. Here we go.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be here.
I love you both.
I know, we love you.
It's such a fun,
Okay, also, just one thing to point out. Oh my God, we're so lucky to be here. Okay, that's my last joke. All right, you see this drink over here? Juni, Juni, that's his brand, Jay Shetty and his wife's brand. You can buy it at Target and Erewhon, the world's most expensive grocery store. That's his probiotic ashwagandha soda pop that you can buy because he's the ultimate capitalist. Okay, moving on.
Like coming together when you guys called me and said you wanted to do this, I was just like, how special is it that we first met now 7 years ago? And then because of you, I got to meet this amazing man. And I feel like we've kicked off a bromance. And
That makes me happy.
yeah, and because of you, I just feel like we've been spending so much time together. And so I'm so grateful to you both for trusting me and over the years, and the fact that you've been on, and now we get both of you. It's like,
Thank you.
it's so special.
It's a very safe, cozy place.
Benny and Selena,
Hi.
welcome back to On Purpose for the first time together.
Yes.
I am so grateful to you both. It's been a joy getting to know you both over the last few years. And I am so happy for you both.
Thank you.
Like, this is just so beautiful and special. And
Okay,
because of you,
not to be
Selena,
mean, I see some of the comments coming through. What medical condition makes you not be able to move your mouth? Is that a real thing?
I got to know Benny so
I'm curious. I'm sorry if I'm being a haterific person. I didn't know that was an actual thing. Also, I thought she has lupus. I'm not sure what lupus symptoms are, so I apologize. Am I being offensive? I don't mean to, but she does have a weird voice. I'm sorry to say.
much more. And Benny and I have been hanging out. We've been meditating. We've been
I love that.
eating. We've been
That makes
doing
me
it,
really happy.
But it's thanks to you. It's thanks to you for bringing us together. And I was just saying, as a man, it's so hard to make male friendships as you get older. And so to have a new-
Is that so?
Yeah, I think
Well, it's
so.
just like when you're an adult, it's like, I have my people.
Yeah, it's only men that have that problem. Women have no issues making friends as adults, for sure. This is a male-specific issue. Just kidding. Also, welcome to Michael Crawley. You be crawling all over that membership. Hey.
Oh, okay. Colt.
Thank you, Michael. Welcome. Okay.
And that's like, what? I have to let a new person in? Like, you barely have time for your people that you have. So you're like, wait, in order to get a new person, I have to like move another person down the list to slot a new person in.
Whoa.
Because there's not enough, because there's not, you start to get to an age. It's like, Larry David always says this. He says, I have friends that I'm not even friends with. I've just been friends with them for so long. I can't let them go because they're already built in. It's like a therapist. They already know everything. You can't teach a new person.
That's hilarious.
Selena disagrees.
It's not necessarily that I disagree. I guess I just always thought that guys have this immediate, like, what's up? And then they're just
How does she sing if she's got like problems with her voice? Okay, anyways, whatever. We'll move on from this the talking thing.
like in a flow. So I don't know. I found that interesting.
Yeah, I feel like you get guarded as you get older a little bit. Sometimes I wish I weren't as wise because I'm not wise at all, but I'm saying like, it's like when you listen to something, like for me, for music, I listened to things when I was like 18 and I was like, oh my God, I didn't know any of the rules. I wasn't thinking of anything. It all comes so easily because you're not confined to like this box that you've put yourself in over the years. And then by the end, you're like, oh, I'm 36, almost 37. I'm like, oh, I can't do that. And it's like, there is some sort of freedom to being really young too.
There definitely is. There definitely is. But I was saying that.
So far, I'm unimpressed by everybody. Okay. It's really hard to make friends. Yes, it is hard to make friends. Yes, especially when you're older too. I see Courtney's comment. Do you know about the stuff about him and his son? I didn't even know he had a son. I thought he was like not related to anyone or had any offspring. Interesting.
Watching both your love story, and I know you were saying, Selena, 2 seconds.
Oh, welcome, Patricia. Patricia, welcome. Hey, Patricia.
No, we're not a cult.
Just keeping that in mind.
Ago, you're like, this is such a safe and cozy space to come to.
Oh, wait. Are you seeing him? Hold on. Let me refresh. Sorry. Jay Shetty got stuck on my screen.
I'm hoping that today we get to know your love story on a deeper level. And we get to access really what's in your hearts and minds, because I think there's so many interviews and so many things that kind of will touch on the surface level of stuff, but I hope we can go deeper. So what I want to start with is I want to actually rewind. And I want to rewind to a place where we don't retell the story, but we get to relive your story with you.
Right.
And I think there's a difference because when we tell a story, it's like, this is what happened. But when we relive it, it's almost like going back to who we were when that happened. So I want to go back to the first time you ever met. And I want to hear about it.
Well, the funny thing is it was so long ago that we don't remember.
we know that her mother put us in a meeting together when, how old were you?
16.
So she was 16.
Wow, I didn't realize it was that long ago.
And well, I'm like 4 or 5 years older than you. So I was probably 20, 21. And her mom was trying to get her into music. And her mom is amazing. The way she goes from room to room, gets
We've had
things
her on the show. Yeah, she's a powerhouse.
Gets things to happen. And, you know.
Selena Gomez's mom has been on the show. Why? Sounds like a momager to me. Okay. Those are always positive and never have weirdness going on for sure.
No. And somehow she got us a meeting together and we don't remember that time. And, you know, after we had done songs together, there was one time where it was probably 2016 or 17 or something. I remember when you were in a studio, like Interscope Studios, and I remember she doesn't remember it, but I remember I came in and I had this talk with you, and I remember being like, whoa, wow, like, Selena's really like a complex person, like in a good way. And I was like, wow, she's so deep. And we had this conversation where I was just really left by being like, oh, she's deep. And then we went and thought nothing more of it. And then when we did our song together, I remember not feeling romantic at all. I just remember leaving, and
she was 16, as he stated, right? We're still in the 16-year-old time frame. I'm glad he didn't feel romantic towards her.
I was talking, you know, because when you're a pop star like she is, and you're a huge entity, and you've done so many things in your life, before, like, people set up all these walls before. So it's like you get like before I came in, they were like, well, you know, this thing's like this and this is like this. And like, she might not want to do that and like stuff. And they speak for people so much. And then I remember me and the director were so nervous. And then the first second you like disarmed everybody. And I remember walking back and Jake was like, he's like, the guy who directing with me, he's like, this is going to be so easy. What they made it seem like this was going to be this crazy thing. And the warmth I felt from her in that moment, I remember leaving being like, wow, Selena's such a cool girl.
And Selena, you don't remember this at all?
No, she remembers this.
I remember the video part, but it was interesting because, yes, I don't have a very good memory, but I just remember the video shoot. I didn't see anything romantic nor really felt that, but I had a really good time. And that was probably the first time after years of doing music together and not together. That was the first time I really got to hang out with him. Yeah. And it was fun. I had a good time. And that was that. And then...
God. Riveting so far. I'm waiting for something interesting. Well, yeah, we met, and then one time we met again, and then we met this other way in this other room in a different way. And then I thought she was going to be mean, but she wasn't, and she was nice. Okay, so you met basically like everyone else. All right, nothing interesting thus far. I'm waiting for some hot, juicy nuggets.
And how it kind of continued was I was always cautious because I always wanted to make sure that I did protect myself. So to be honest, I didn't talk to him very often.
I thought she hated me.
Really?
I knew that was going.
He felt such warmth from her, but he thought she hated him. It's not quite the same emotion, but okay.
I really did. I thought she didn't. Like, I would see her and I would be like, does she not like me? Like, and we weren't thinking about anything. I was like, wow, she really like didn't talk to me a lot. And I was like, I thought I was being nice. And like, my friends would be like, no. And then like, there was another time I remember and my friends were like, oh yeah, she was kind of weird. And I was
I'm so sorry.
And there was like a few times and I didn't know. And I was just like, you know, I was like, that's okay.
I thought I was being like polite by not.
She didn't really engage.
Basically.
I thought I was being polite by not. What? Okay. I
was working on some music and we we went through some of the demos that we had, and Single Soon came up, which is ironic because it was actually nowhere near where I was in my personal life. But Benny happened to do the song.
No, I didn't even do the song. It was like one of my guys who did
and
the
you
song.
came to fix
Yeah,
it.
and I like came to help out because I was like, oh, I want their song to. I was like, I don't like the way this. Let me just at least help them. I was like, well.
Okay, one other thing I want to point out, since this is so freaking boring so far, I feel like this is relatability slippers. This is a prop that's like, I wear slippies when I do interviews. Because her outfit does not match with these little Ugg slippers. And they don't need to be in the frame. They could be pushed behind the couch, but they're kept here for a specific reason, to show that she's so relatable, just like us. That's my guess. Like, oh, I'm just cozy, similar to our Meghan Markle, Jamie Kern Lima. We're just in our rocking chairs and our cozies and no makeup. This is saying that without verbally having to identify it.
I'm not sure if it'll be okay because I don't know if Selena likes me or something. And then John Janik, the president of Interscope, he was like, well, why don't you just go into the session? She usually doesn't have people in, but just go in and like, if there is something that you feel is weird, like try to just smooth it over and talk to her and get in. And I said, okay, I'm going to go smooth it over. So I went in. It was so funny. Right before I came, her engineer told me like later that she was like, oh, Benny's coming. And she was like.
And here's our reasoning. I'm going to defend myself.
Yeah,
I
you
get
should.
very nervous around the producers watching me sing.
Of course.
It's just a very intimate thing for me. I feel like I need to sound a certain way or do whatever to make them happy. And when I get to record with just me and my engineer and maybe someone I trust, I get more out of the experience. So I just was.
Okay, she sounds like kind of a diva to me. Sorry, she sounds kind of a diva-ish. And I don't understand what he just said was like, oh, yeah, everyone made it seem like she was going to be so hard to work with. And then when I met her, she was so warm. But then I thought she hated me. And when I was coming, she said, I don't want to see him. So I'm confused. Sounds like the people that warned you that she's hard to work with were kind of right. But okay, we'll see how this turns enemies to lovers. Let's see.
Thinking, okay, well, maybe he'll stay for 10 minutes and we'll just talk for a second. And 10 minutes turned into like 30. Then he went to the other room and I finished recording and he stayed there. And then, yeah, this is too long.
So from my perspective, here's what happened. I get in there.
I'm like,
I gotta smooth this.
I love this back and forth.
Yeah. I was like, I don't have this with anyone. Like, I was like, I want us to be chill. And obviously 99% of it was in my head. And I come in, we just start talking about life, and her A&R is there. One of my friends is there. And we're talking about life, and we start talking about dating. And I was like, yeah, I went out on this date, blah, blah, blah. And then I was talking to her and I said, oh my God, I have so many good single guy friends. I was like, we have dinners at the house all the time. You should come over sometime. And I wasn't even thinking about anything. And we're like talking about like our ideal date and like this and that. I wanted to make sure she did the line right. So I was like, oh, I'll stay there to like make sure it's good after. And then, so I did, we left. And then
you texted me.
I didn't have her cell phone number because she changed her number a bunch. So like, I asked someone, I said, hey, give me your cell phone number. I want to say like, thing. And I wrote, I was like, oh my God, you were, and during that, when I was with her, I was like, oh my God. I was like, not only, she's like really cool. I want her to be like in our friend group. And I couldn't even be thinking, I was like, I want her to be in our friend group and I want to make sure this thing's smoothed out. So the song goes well and everything. So I said, let me just text her, thank you or whatever. And I was like, you were so sweet or something like that. And then she writes back. I guess we were texting throughout the day. And she told me, she looked back at our message. She said, somehow you started sending like selfies where you looked really bad on purpose, like the worst ones in your phone.
You started to do this.
Yes. Yeah. Which, by the way, no girl should really, or anyone in their right mind to someone they would have a crush on do that. But we were talking about ugly photos, like, because I always say I take the worst photos sometimes. And he's like, oh, you said something. And I sent him the worst pictures of me. Like,
Is this supposed to be America's best couple? I'm unconvinced. This seems like the most basic meeting. I've felt no chemistry so far, but okay. All right. I'm giving you hope. I don't know. They're telling us they're madly in love. I'll believe them. But based on what I've heard so far, it seems like a very awkward interaction.
and like in bed sick, and then me at weird photo shoots, and now looking back on it, I'm just thinking these are so weird.
Wait,
I don't know why
like
I
me
said
in that moment yet or not yet?
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay. So
That's what I was trying to figure out.
I had no
Okay.
idea. So I had no idea. And somehow we decide.
So wait, why did you do that if you liked Benny? Why were you sending?
Well, because I didn't know that it was going to be like, maybe I thought it was just going to be flirting and not really anything else.
Got it.
But I really,
Because she's a relatable queen and she's got to show her flaws. She's like, one time at the Vogue photo shoot, I looked a little weird in one of the outtakes. I'm just like you.
started to just, I don't know, fall for him.
So I didn't know any of this. And then we decide, I forget how it happens, but we're like, yeah, let's hang out. And I was like, oh, my friend's having a birthday party tomorrow. I was like, you just come along. And I was like, just thinking friend stuff. And then, so she comes to mine, and I guess she thought the party was going to be at my house, but I was like, oh, in my head, I was like, oh, she'll just come over and we can just like grab a drink first and then go there. Like, not thinking anything of it. I was like, we'll just like grab a drink at my friend's wine bar. It's on the way. And then we'll go there. You were there. And we were sitting together, and she said something like, well, because it's a date, I wore blah, blah. And I was like, I was like, what?
No, I said, if this was a date, I definitely would have dressed like nicer. And he just kind of looked at me, and I thought we were on a date.
And I was like, we're on a date. And then we went, and then we didn't really talk about
So wait,
it.
who thought it was a date?
She thought it was.
Oh.
She thought it was a date.
I'm
And then
sorry, a nice man takes me out for a drink. I'm assuming it's a date.
I didn't know.
But no one had asked each other out yet.
No, it was like, let's just
Yeah.
hang out. Like,
Yeah.
and then we go to my friends, we go to this Thai restaurant, we go to Jitlada, and we're like hanging out, and there's a bunch of people there. And then she all of a sudden like leaves. And she was like, I have a video shoot really early in the morning. And I was like, okay. And I was like, but I wasn't like, because it wasn't a date to me or anything. So I was like, okay, cool. And I stayed with my friends and stuff. And then she texted me after, and I remember you being like, that was like one of the most fun times I've had in a really long time.
Selena, so you technically asked Benny out on the first official date.
She did. She did like
Walk us through that confidence, that energy, because
There
I think a lot
wasn't
of
any
ladies
confidence. That's the scary part. I think that's when I recognized that I had some sort of feelings for him. What I felt for Benny,
I don't know. This seems so boring and basic. Like they're trying to make it sound interesting, but it's like the least interesting story. It's like 5 minutes of, so I got on this app and then I swiped right on like 12 other people and none of them were speaking to me. And then I swiped right on this person and it was you. And then when you got there, you were like, hey, do you want to go left? And I said, no, I wanted to go right. Remember that? Yeah, it was so crazy. And then we had fun. And then you texted me afterwards and said like, nice to meet you. Crazy story, crazy circumstances. Like, okay, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Now we get a teaser. Okay, for coming up soon, the big bomb drops about what's really going on.
it was everything about him was honest. When Benny looks at me, I don't think he sees anything but who I am. Oh, that's so cheesy to say, but
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot of convincing going on. A lot of like, believe us that this is a real story. Like, why do we as a society like this content? Because typically I am interested in other people's relationship, how they met, what their dynamics are. But like, I feel like when it's on steroids like this, it crosses a line into bizarre. Like, why are we talking about how you're... It's like very much, as I'll bring up at every stream I ever talk about, Rachel Hollis, Dave Hollis-esque, where it's like all of a sudden, or Heidi Powell, Dave Hollis, where it's like, our relationship is part of our content and we need you to understand us so that you can buy from us. It's just odd. I don't like it. Some things should be sacred, in my opinion. Like, If you want to tell a story on like Jimmy Kimmel about how you met and because they asked you, great. But why are we talking for an hour and 30 minutes about every single detail about your relationship publicly? I don't find the value in it. There's no tips. What tips have I gotten so far? Hey, like, text him. Okay.
You do know it feels right. Walking to his house or into his home
Weird
to
editing.
go to his friend's thing, I was very nervous. And I'm not normally like that unless it's like an event or something where it could be overwhelming. But with anyone I talk to, I'm able to talk to people and I feel like I'm good at it. But I just felt like all these feelings. And then when we went out, I was laughing and I didn't feel like he wanted anything or there was weird motives. It's sad that.
Well, he said he didn't even think it was a date. He just felt like it was friends and that you didn't even like him. So seems like she's kind of creating this fake, not accurate reality of what's going on because she's so nervous about this date that's not actually a date. Okay, again, I'm waiting to see what the difference is, but this start sounds a little odd.
You know, people have to think that way, but I don't know. I felt this immediate safety and I was very pleased that, I don't know, we were friends and then we became, you know.
The next time we hung out, we just hung out at home and we just like, we're chilling and we were playing that game.
We're not
really strangers.
Oh,
dude.
yeah. That's a great game.
And my friend made that game.
Oh, wow.
And we were just playing it and we had both played it and I was like, okay, sure.
Is it the friend who has the wine bar? Because if so, that's a cool person that we should be interviewing instead of you guys because maybe they have a more interesting story to tell.
Or we can play it. And we played it and there was like a card that said like, take a selfie together. And we like took a selfie, she like screwed up, we took a selfie, and then right after the selfie, we just kissed. And then,
oh, great.
No, that's it. And then she's very private. And then basically the rest was history. And we started hanging out so much. And it just like very quickly,
We fell in love via selfie.
Like,
okay.
Oh my God, my whole life, I was like, oh, this is my person. Like, I'm going to marry this person. This is the thing. This is what it feels like. It was so different than any of those feelings. And I was like, holy shit. I met my best friend. This is my best friend. Nothing gets any better than this. It can't get better. There's no, this is like better than any friend I have that's a guy and I get to kiss them. Like, it was insane to me. So I was like, I can't let this go.
On day 2, you felt that way? Okay. Sure.
It was so funny because before I met her, with my therapist, I had made a list saying like, these are all the things I want. I'm tired.
Tell me the list.
You want to?
Jay Shay's like, am I your therapist now? Did you dump that person? Because therapy's for wussies.
Know it?
Yeah, I want to know the list.
Okay. So before I met her, you know, I was a guy in LA trying to find the one for me, and I was having some trouble, and I think I was like maybe not looking in all the right places. And
who did he date before?
I was like, okay, it's time to be a grown up. Like, I want to like start a life. I want to have a family. I want to find a person that like is my other half, that makes me feel better and I make them feel better. And it's a give and take. It's the perfect yin and yang.
Okay. Taking a break from this riveting conversation. He's incredibly private. Yeah, I'm not getting that vibe from this interview. We're incredibly private. So then on the first day we met, and then on the second day we met, and then on the third day we met. It's like, very private of you guys. Okay, so he's incredibly private, but here's who Benny Blanco dated before his engagement to Selena. He's definitely got a type. Okay. Elise Hewitt. Does anyone know who this is? Never seen this person in my life. Anyone know who this is? Okay. After meeting on the set of his Juice WRLD 2019 music video, Benny and Elsie started dating back in 2019. Okay. Then Selena Gomez. We know that one. Okay. That's it? He's had one girlfriend before Selena Gomez? That's his type? Woman? Okay. Wow, great article, The Tab. He's only had one girlfriend before? I'm confused. 2019 was his first relationship. Okay. Well, there you go, guys. That's the reveal. He apparently has a child? Where's the child brought up? Okay, wait, hold on. Let me look at Yahoo, a more reliable website than The Tab. Will it load, though? YouTube. Yahoo is in the 1996 dial-up modem still. Clicky click, come on. Okay, let's see. We're looking at Stylecaster, my Bible. Selena Gomez, Elise Hewitt. Wow, he's a small man. Or unless she's like super, super tall. It's an interesting photo, I will say. I have no more to say about it. That's it. Literally, he's had one girlfriend before. Okay, all right. Again, where's his child come from? Benny? I'm just searching because I'm regretting going back. I don't want to go back to this interview. Ugh, it's so boring. So boring. Yes, Benny Blanco has a child. In a post on X, he mentioned having a child and a family, expressing gratitude for the journey they've shared together. While the post doesn't specify the gender of the child, it implies Benny has a son. Huh? Okay, sorry. Let's take a Wikipedia break for a minute. Benjamin Joseph Levin. Benny Blanco. American blah, blah, blah. Okay, he's a winner. He was mentored by Dr. Luke, who apparently is the guy who worked with Katy Perry who's sexually assaulted somebody. I don't know a whole lot about that whole thing, but he's not a good person from what I understand. So he was trained by him. Okay, has he spoken out against him? I wonder. I'm curious. Okay, he's blah, blah, blah. Career. Okay, he's done a lot of songs. Oh. Hey. Hottie. Okay, books. He wrote a book, Open Wide, a cookbook for friends. He published in 2024. He also co-authored a book, Open Wide. Okay. Amazing. Personal life. All it says is he's been in a relationship with Selena Gomez. I'm not saying he has a child, but okay, I believe you. Okay, let's go back. Sorry.
So I wrote down a list, and the first thing on my list was age appropriate. Okay. So that was,
I love that. That's
great.
And it was 30 plus. Okay.
Got it.
So that was number one on my list.
Yes.
Good.
Not number one, but it was the first thing I wrote.
Yeah.
And then the second thing I wrote was I said, I know these are so simple, but it's so hard to come by. Somebody who's kind, compassionate, and caring. I was like, that's really 3 in 1. But that was but I was like, I need someone who's like nice and is like a genuine nice person.
You said something really important. The reason I'm bringing it up is because I feel a lot of women, but a lot of people feel this way. And you said when you first were meeting and recording together, there was a sense of you were protecting yourself.
Yes.
And I think that's a very human thing. And I think it's a very normal thing, and especially in this day and age, especially in your position to add to it. What was it that, at one point you said, I'm going to adopt at 35 if I don't find someone? Like you had your whole life mapped out when you met Benny. But then, and you said you were protecting yourself, but then you started to open up. Could you walk us through what gave you confidence to open up, but what that feels like when you're trying to protect yourself? Because I think that's the push and pull that everyone's going.
What are you asking? I hate people who do interviews that give a monologue before they ask a question so that they sound smart. It's like, all right, dude, are you actually asking something, or you just want to hear yourself talk for a second? I mean, I know the answer is the latter, but okay. Jay Shetty, your eyes are the key to my soul.
Going through.
Well, I think first of all, making plans and trying to stick to them is silly because you don't know what's going to happen. And
yes, never plan, never set goals. That's what Jay Shetty would tell us too.
I can't believe that I get to marry my best friend. But yes, I think for me, I was genuinely set. But it was once I let go of me just saying I want someone and I wish I had this and I wish I had that. Instead, I changed my mind to I'm so lucky that I get to wake up and my family's healthy, and
I'm so lucky I get to wake up. Once I was like happy to wake up, then everything changed for me. Okay, sure.
I love spending time with my friends. And you know what? If it doesn't happen, I know that I've always wanted to be a mom. And, so of course I kind of planned that out. I think it was because
I don't buy her.
When Benny looks at me, I don't think he sees anything but who I am. And that's very rare to find. He knows when I'm feeling a certain way, and kind of before I can even let it get to a place where it's unbearable, he has already talked to me through a spiral and protecting myself on multiple reasons.
What? Spiral into what? He looks at me and helps me not spiral? About what? I wish people would give details. They're always so vague. It's like, give me any sort of context so I can understand what you're saying. They don't. They're just like, yeah, so like I was spiraling and he'll just look at me and just like know like everything. And I was like, what? This means nothing to me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Doing music, working with someone that's kind of, like, oh, I don't know if I should do that. But I genuinely it just happened. I think when and oh, that's so cheesy to say, but when you do know, it feels right. And I think that's what happened to me, and I just felt very comfortable with it.
Yeah. Benny, how do you feel that you almost sabotaged your relationship by nearly introducing Selena to your friends? How does that feel? Like when you're like, hey, wait a minute, come and meet my friends. There might be some nice guys for you to meet.
I feel like it all happens for a reason. Yeah. I feel like maybe me doing that is what disarmed her enough to we talked about this before. Like if we would have met each other when we were younger, it would have never worked. It's like we've both grown as individuals and met at the perfect time. And I believe life is like that. And sometimes it doesn't make sense. And sometimes it's not the right reasons. And we're like, why is this happening? But I always believe that I don't know. I believe in fate. I believe in all that. And I believe, if you're good to people, karmically, it's going to come back to you 10 times over. Maybe you might get in that moment.
I haven't heard why they actually like each other. Like, what personality types do you like? What have you shared? I haven't heard any of that. It's all been vague again.
Moment, someone's going to do you really dirty. But over a long period of time, I think things are going to go your way.
Yeah. Was it scary? Because you talk about being best friends so much. Was it scary thinking,
so much.
What are we going to lose if this gets romantic?
It was a date the second time they met. They kissed the second time they hung out. So how was it best friends we're going to lose our best friendship? They didn't know each other. They just said that.
As friends.
No, it happened right away. It happened right away.
It happened quick enough.
This was all one day. Yeah. That was one day. Like everything really happened within. And then look, there was once we knew that we liked each other, there's that part where we're both extremely busy people. So it's like, it takes a second to where you fully prioritize, because it's like, at first you date someone, you say, okay, well, I'll see you this time once a week. And then it's like, ooh, okay, this person's getting cool. We'll go twice a week. And then it's like, wait, don't leave my house. I miss you. Like it all happens so quickly.
One thing that you both did was you had a long distance relationship for a while. Like you were in different states and managing that. You both have crazy work schedules. And
How long have they been together? When did this happen? What year? How long have they actually known each other? I'm curious.
Thinking in your positions, it can get very easy to be like, oh, that person's never available. They canceled again. Like, well, they've got a million things. They're running away. I mean,
It says 2023, the unexpected couple privately started dating midway through 2023. So they've been together 2 years. Okay. This sounds like 2 years on in a relationship talk. I agree.
We're just about to say
especially with long distance in between. That sounds about right, the way they're speaking. I feel like everything's now making sense. They don't really know each other yet.
We both are starting to travel together right now for work as well. But how did you manage that? Because I think a lot of our viewers are like, do long distance relationships work and do two busy people relationships work?
Yeah.
How would you both say you've managed?
Why is it doing this? It's doing this like lag thing. I hate it. I hate it. Sorry, I have to keep like refreshing it. This is what happened that one time when the screen went black. Oh no. Okay, wait. All right. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, everybody. I'm having the rainbow wheel of death. Okay. Hopefully it gets better.
Both of those parts.
Biggest thing in the world is trust. I can say with all my heart that I trust this person. So for me, knowing that I have a 12 to 14 hour day on set, I won't get to talk to him every second, which I don't need, but I know just hearing from him one time, check in with me and say, I love you and I hope the day is going well. I just feel safe, and I've never felt that before. And if you feel like you're in a situation that doesn't feel like you're a unit, that makes it scarier. And then that causes friction. Then it causes trust issues. So for me, I would have to say communication and trust helps, but it doesn't
agree.
always work. It's hard.
I feel like at the beginning there were a few almost sabotages. She didn't like. She was like,
that's fair.
At the very beginning, in like her first few trips away, she was still gaining that trust. So there were moments
of sincere doubt.
No, yeah. We all have.
That's normal.
We all have moments in our life because like we're only made up. I tell everyone this. It's like when you start dating someone, you're not only dating them, you're dating every single person they've ever dated, every single relationship they've ever had in their past, because you're getting every piece of baggage that person's carried and that what they've learned through their own personal life, through the life with partners, with their parents, with this, that. And I had to find a way to build that trust with her, not make it feel overbearing and make it feel real and make her actually believe it.
And yeah, I guess what he's saying is like, oh, I had to like make up for all the problems that she had, but that's also on her, especially as someone who's got a mental health company that supports mental health. You got to work on that within yourself through, I would say, therapy, to make sure that you're not punishing your next partner for all of the bad blood boyfriends that you've had in your past. That's unfair. And that's not, I don't think, something that anyone should put on your partner of like, you need to prove to me that you are better than everyone else that I've been with. It should be, I'm giving you open, and this is all just my 2 cents. I'm giving you the opportunity to prove who you are to me without trying to like paint it with my own, past issues. So I would say he's almost overcompensating, in my opinion, right now, how he's describing this. Like, oh, I had to prove it. It's like, you shouldn't. You're both coming into this blank slates, I would imagine. That's how it should be. But okay, I'm no mental health expert. Jay Shetty, jump in whenever you want.
Vice versa. Like, I know that she fully if I say, hey, I'm just going to do this today, there's nowhere in her mind that's thinking that. And if for any chance that I always told her, I said, it's okay. If you have moments of doubt in something, in a feeling, always talk to me and I'll talk you through anything that you may have. If you say, hey, I know this is a crazy thing. I just had a dream and I woke up from this dream and I was upset. Sometimes she'll just say like, please tell me I can trust you, or please tell me you're not doing anything stupid. And I say, you can call me anytime you want. And I'm aware of her strengths and I'm aware of her weaknesses. And what I try to do is surround her with a lot of things to help her. So if she's away and I have to go to a dinner, then a party, then this thing, then that thing, it's a simple text in between each thing that says, hey babe, I'm going to this next thing. I'm thinking about you. Hey, where couples, where it starts to hit is when they miss that text. They don't call the person. They wait until the next, like, it's just like,
and they've been together for 2 years. Yeah, I think in the 2 years, you should want to text your partner all the time and be, involved in their life. By year 10, I don't know. Let's talk. They're talking as if they're experts also. They're speaking about themselves, but they're also speaking about like, this is the right way to be in a relationship. And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of easy for you to say 2 years in. Personally, but okay. And also you have a lot of distance and space between each other because you're busy, but okay.
I know what she needs to succeed. So I'm going to help
How does he know what she needs to succeed? Sounds a little, again, like, shouldn't she know and she be responsible for that? But okay.
her succeed. I'm not going to be a dick. I'm not going to hit her up. And she doesn't need a lot. She's like the easiest person in the world. But I know, yeah, she wants to talk to me before she goes to bed. She wants me to say, I love you. She wants me to text her if I wind up having to stay somewhere 2 hours late. Just a simple, take out your phone and done. And I know that stuff really helps, especially when you're long distance, because it's natural. You're far away from someone. You say, I'm not with this person. I'm not as connected to them. We're not meant to be far. You're not supposed to be long distance with your partner. You're supposed to be right next to your partner. We do things in life that we have to do. And we both are very focused on our careers and we're very driven. And you have to find a way to make it work that's comfortable. You have to talk to your partner. You have to understand them. I think people's biggest problems, especially men, are that we don't listen all the time. You got to listen. Just shut the f- up and listen. Listen to what they're saying. A woman is going to tell you exactly what she needs. Like when guys are like, I don't know what she wants. I don't know. She told you already. You're just an idiot. You're not listening. Just listen. If a girl is getting frustrated with you on something, she's definitely told you multiple times and you're just not paying attention. So it's like, just listen. And don't be reactionary. Proactively do these things. I don't know if you do the same thing, but when you're away from your partner, you just try to think of little things that's going to make them feel more comfortable, better. Yeah. You know, I'm on the other hand, I'm like living on the moon. So it's like, she doesn't have to really do anything for me. Cause I'm all in on everything with her. And I fully trust her in every capacity. And my whole life, I've always been like this. I trust everyone until they give me a reason not to.
Yes.
Okay.
But she doesn't do that for him. Eek. He's like that for her, but she's not like that for him. Eek. Sorry Shepherd. Thank you so much. Ashara Shepherd. I love saying your name, Ashara Shepherd. Ashara amazing. What is he complaining about? Communication? I don't know if he's complaining, but he's explaining that he texts his girlfriend, and that's important. We love an honest, keyed-in king.
Ooh, shit.
He's so wise.
So sad.
Makes me so sad.
The opportunity of the 21st century.
Texting your girlfriend.
We are now live, mofos.
Hate Squad.
That's all for you, sorry. Thank you. Okay. I'm trying to keep it interesting, folks. It's pulling at my booty hole.
Okay. And I trust people to be who they are.
I know, I'm the same way. I
Okay.
want them
And
to break
so far,
up as well.
I know who she is. So until further notice, that's how I'm going to treat her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts on it.
No, I love that.
It's the character that gets judged. It's the way I'm not white enough, I'm not Mexican enough. There's just so many different things that come up in my face that I can't help but see. It just doesn't feel safe, and I don't like being myself sometimes. That's a bigger problem than just talking about it.
I know, like, and I can even tell based on the chat, like, people really like Selena Gomez. I just don't like her. I don't know. I know I don't like anybody, really, but, like, I don't like her. Just her vibes are weird to me. Like, I just don't buy anything she says, and it sounds, she's one step away from, you know, becoming a guru herself about, like, how life should be. I don't know, something about her I'm not into.
In a relationship, I was very reactive. I think that's why I was alone for 5 years, because I really needed to collect myself. I think in the past, that's why I say to him all the time,
No!
10 years ago, it's not that I wouldn't have wanted to be with you. I just wouldn't have been in the right headspace.
I remember there was a time we didn't want this to be like a public thing because unfortunately for Selena, her life is always under the spotlight, being scrutinized at every moment and this and that, and for good, for bad. I remember sitting with her and we'd been seeing each other, you know, secretly for months and months and months. And And we were about to go to New York.
And months.
And we just made a conscious effort that we were like, we don't want to do this anymore. We want to be able to go out and have fun and just live our lives. And at that point, I knew that it was serious enough to dive in. Like that I was like, okay, I don't care what comes with this because I love this person so much already that like
What were they afraid of? They've literally capitalized on this relationship as soon as they came out to the public. He's been on... I've never heard this guy's name ever before. And now he's like on podcasts talking about how he's the best fiance in the world. I don't understand the fear. Like, the PR splash has been amazing for them. Obviously, they have no problems talking about each other and talking about how in love they are, allegedly. I don't know. Maybe with all this Justin Bieber, Hailey Bieber stuff going on, she wanted to get some positive PR, and especially because she was in that Oscar-winning film, Emilia Perez, the musical about the Mexican cartel, that she wanted to get some positive PR for her because that was kind of staining her reputation, I guess, a little bit. I don't know. I don't know enough about her to like really give a definitive answer. But again, I do think she's got stans. She's got stans of fans, just like Meghan Markle. She's got people who will ride or die for her, which I think is very unhealthy and weird. But okay. Sorry Shepherd says, Selena sounds like an automation. Yeah. Apparently she's got some sort of, and this is coming from the comments, so I don't know. She's got some sort of like mouth problem. I don't know. I guess I'll give it to her. I've refrained from making fun of her too harshly, but it is very weird. Okay, sorry. That's the last thing I'll say. All right.
Unfollow me.
If you love Selena and you hate me, I'm sorry. All right.
You look like a Lord of the Rings elf.
That's for Benny Blanco. Okay.
literally said I love you on that trip.
Yeah,
she had already said I love you to me a few times.
Okay, wait. So the album, I said I love you first.
Yes.
So Selena, you said I love you first.
Yeah, she said it.
What made you?
He wants to say that a few times. She said it. She said it multiple times before I gave in. Okay, you need to know this, Jay.
Because that's a big step. I
definitely have never been the first.
So this is the first time in your life you were the first.
Yes.
Wow.
I wanted him to also know how committed I was, and deep down, I just felt that, and I was tired of protecting myself. We had spent enough time together where, I felt like this was my person, and I had the courage enough to say it, but I was very nervous, and luckily he said it back.
Did you say it back the first time?
Well, there was okay.
Oh, okay. Well, there's been some slip-ups.
Well, okay. Yeah. Well, she has a plate in her hand because she had like an accident, and she was like coming up from, I think that was.
Oh, he's talking about a metal plate.
Yeah, she had surgery or something. She was coming out of anesthesia, and
weird.
And she was like sitting there, and she was like, "I love you," and then I was like, "What?" And she was like, I love you. And I
don't remember.
I didn't say anything back yet because I was like, I can't have this be the first time. And then one time she was with her friends and they were at dinner, and she was like, "Oh, we really wish you were here. We love you." I mean, and then just hung up. Like it literally was like, and then she started wanting to really say it. And she was like, it was right when I was going to do it. It was the same night. And I was like, hey.
Hold on. Okay. I'm just breaking into the riveting content once again. Selena Gomez Benny Blanco, not fun. I have dyslexia so bad. Selena Gomez reveals the totally mundane way she broke her hand. This is not fun. I wish I had like a really cool story that I saved someone's life or something. Okay. So how did she actually do it? This sounds very on brand, where it's not exciting at all or interesting. Selena Gomez is going from single soon to healing soon. Okay. I was in a long dress. It was a summer dress, and I was walking from my car to my house and tripped. Okay. When it was pointed out that she was lucky she didn't break her teeth instead, Gomez says, yes, that's what the doctor said. holding up her right arm to show off her newest accessory, a dark gray cast. I guess there is a silver lining, but this is not fun. This is not fun. I thought breaking your hand was a fun activity. I'm so shocked that she's not having a good time. She recently injured her hand, though she didn't provide specifics. Broke my hand and had surgery, she wrote, in response to a fan's post predicting her new track's success on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. I don't care about selling anything. I'm just happy to make music with my friends. Yeah, okay. Why do they constantly try to convince us that they're not 1,000 million times % obsessed with money and that is their goal and their peak motivation in life? But okay, sure.
Let me get my stuff out.
And you literally said that, and then I just said, I love you.
And I was like, please just let me out. Because I had felt it and I was about to do it. And I was like, I want to wait till New York. So it's special, be in my house. Like, it'll be a good thing. And then the day I was doing it, she was like,
I have to be in my house to tell someone I love them. Is that thoughts that people really have? Like, I'm going to keep this secret that I love you until you come to my penthouse in Brooklyn, New York. Like, I don't know. Is that something people really think about, especially when you're a celebrity? Are these the thoughts that go on? You just have so many you have less cares in the world that you're like planning to say where you love somebody and which property you're in. Gotta love them.
She like couldn't take it anymore. And she said it. And then we said it. And the thing that's crazy is, before you say I love you, it's like this thing. It's like taboo. You're scared to say. And then after you're like, oh my God, I can't, like, you want to say it 1,000 times in a row. You never want, I can't even understand how I went so long without saying it to her. I say it 3,000 times a day to her. And I make sure every day I say, I love you so much. Like, I love you 1,000,000 times. And then I always tell her how beautiful she is and how lucky I am to have her every day.
It's so annoyingly cute.
And I always want to do that because I want her to know that every day I don't take anything for granted. And I still look at her and my breath gets taken away in so many different ways. And I said it to her last night. We were sitting, we were in like the pool or something
I told her last night that she was beautiful. I did that. Okay. I don't know. Again, like they're acting like, oh, she's the luckiest girl in the world. It's like, yeah, I think that's what everyone should do. I don't know. It seems, again, performative. Something about this is just performative to me. It's like they're trying to convince us that this is real and true and beautiful and different. And it's like, if you got to convince people, it's probably not real in some capacity.
There last night and we were just hanging out and I was just
in
like,
the pool.
You're so beautiful. And I don't mean that just physically. I'm saying like you can feel it. There's like a ring, like an aura around her that exudes just like warmth. And it just...
You're like making me want to cry.
How do you react in the moment when that happens, Selena? Because Benny, we're basically the same person. I do the same thing to my wife.
Yeah.
I do that to Radhi all the time.
We're so lucky.
Radhi will just pull the funniest face in the world.
She does the same thing.
I was like, how do you react when Benny's telling you all these amazing things, Selena? What do you say?
Because I say, no, let's be honest. I also am equally grateful, and I tell him that all the time.
Let's be honest. Stop lying, Benny. I'm also a good person. That's what she's saying with that, I think. Asari Shepherd, thank you so much. Asari Shepherd says, everybody needs a haircut, including this mop. Yeah. Taro, do you need a haircut? Do you need a haircut? Do you need a haircut? Yes. Do you need a haircut? She needs a hair brushing. Hey, she needs a brush. She needs a brush.
They are the victims of cancel culture.
Once they break up, that's what they'll say.
Sounds too good to be true, right?
Their relationship.
We are not an MLM company. We're not a network marketing company. We're not a get-rich-quick scheme.
Okay, there you go.
I just, it makes me feel like it's not real. And I'll, like, sometimes I'll be like, this seems too good to be true. Like, he's so sweet to me, but...
Yeah. Take that gut feeling and hang on to that for the divorce settlement. Look at him drinking his coffee like, hide my face. Too good to be true. Hide it.
Now I've accepted it. I think I actually love it so much that it just makes me want to give him that support and that love back. So it's safe to say I feel much safer doing that now, and I like it.
I think so many people feel that when someone's that nice, and that's coming from someone who's like that myself with friends, family, and obviously with my wife too, a lot of the time that's seen as a weakness.
I don't believe him. I think he's like obsessively loves himself. I don't think that he's actually telling his wife all the time, I love you, I love you. I don't know. Maybe he is, but I doubt it.
Like people kind of look down on it when someone's that open about their feelings. Especially I get asked that a lot when I'm giving relationship or dating advice. People be like, oh no, but if I come on too strong, people get turned off. What this time was different for you, where it's like, he's being really affectionate, he's being really open, but there's a part of you that realizes that's what you want and that's what you deserve.
Because the world has become so hard to please, if you will. I'm called fake. I'm called, it's insincere. It's fake. All of this, like, it just doesn't feel safe. And
I mean, I tend to agree, fortunately.
I don't like being myself sometimes. And that's a bigger problem than just talking about it in a relationship, because it makes you feel like you have to question the way you're acting. And I genuinely, I have really bad days, and sometimes I don't have the energy to do what I'm doing, but I try 99% of the time to.
And you're a $700 million heir, so I think you're being compensated fairly well for your efforts.
Be kind and to just be happy and grateful for what I have.
I really do think like celebrities, especially at this level, they hate that there's people out there that do not like them. It's like, you are being compensated for your efforts, and they're like, well, I have hard days. It's like, so you really think there's a possibility in the world where every single person agrees with you and loves you and doesn't question your motives when you make so much money, and everything in celebrities' lives are orchestrated by PR companies and studios and music records that have been historically and notoriously toxic and horrible? You are upset that people don't like you? Like, get through it, because that's so ridiculous to be upset that the public at large has concerns and says like, I think she's fake. Yeah, that's how I feel too. Am I supposed to feel shame about feeling that way? We don't know you. So how are we supposed to know the truth? Like, who cares? I don't know. You're getting paid to be in the public spotlight. Like, you could find a different job if you don't want to do that, but they want it all. They want to be praised and not criticized. And, I don't know. It just seems unreasonable. Like, there's give and take to everything. Just, I don't know why they don't realize that, or they just don't accept it. They want everything and no criticism ever. Asari Shepherd, thank you so much. Asari Shepherd, her voice, how is she famous? She was a child star. Her momager made sure she was a famous tween turned into celebrity. And she's like the most followed person on Instagram or something crazy like that. Like, it's kind of weird. She's a very interesting celebrity to me, again.
A great deal of wealth is appropriate for me.
That's what Selena Gomez's mom said. I'm curious about the mom. I think her mom might be like the mastermind of this whole thing.
We are now live.
Oops.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Sorry, Shepard.
And that
Excuse me.
just almost isn't cool anymore. And I hope that conversation can kind of start eventually, because it's not good. I want to always be that person that I was, but it gets harder and harder. What I felt for Benny, it was everything about him was honest. It wasn't just that
Again, we're talking, this is 36 minutes in. It's like, was this scheduled just to talk about the relationship? Like, there's nothing else they're going to talk about this whole time? It seems like overly indulgent.
He was honest with me. He was honest about where he was at in life. And He'll tell me anything that he's feeling, and it made me feel like I could do the same. But he's the one person, you know, when you're saying those nice things to me, babe, it's like so sweet.
Babe.
But I believe him to where I'm not going to believe someone who is blowing smoke up my butt to just make me feel good. He's saying it because he means it. And I believe it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That honesty that someone has in every area of their life, including their bad days, their tough days, their challenging days. Then when they're saying that, whether their day's good or bad, and they feel that way, it resonates with us. I think we all sense that. And I love what you said. I think it's so important that we make it cool again to care for people and be cared for, and we make it cool again to love people and feel loved, and we make it cool again for people to be kind and to receive kindness.
I feel like it's like a macho thing. Like guys are always trying. It's like, stop trying to be cool. Like, it's like guys try to be so cool and like they don't want. I think it's cool to show your emotions. I think it's cool to tell you the person. Like, I call my mom up and I tell her how beautiful she is too. Like, and I think it's cool to make.
I feel like Selena would be like, you know, babe, I'm a little jealous of that. I need you to cut back on calling your mom beautiful. I'm the only one that you're able to say that to, babe.
People feel good. I think it's cool to like, you know, I just feel like people like are trying to push people down a lot sometimes, like to make themselves feel better. But you look so much cooler and so much better if you're making other people feel
but it's not even that you would look cooler.
I know.
You'd feel like a better person.
That's what I'm saying though. But it's like, I don't understand why people like choose not to do that. And it's like,
yeah, it's something I'm very passionate about, something that I do want to start talking about more. I want to be a good example. I'm not the perfect person. Lord knows I've made tons of mistakes and continue and will continue to.
Yeah.
But I think it's important that we talk about that.
Yeah, I'm really glad you both raised it, because I think so many of us are actually accepting less than we deserve because we want what's cool, not what we deserve.
Yeah, like
really
me explaining to you right now, I want to change my whole.
Is this a real problem? People are accepting less than they deserve because they think it's cool? Is this an actual problem or a problem that celebrities think regular people have?
Whole approach to anything because of like one thing that I did. Like, that's sad. I don't have to change who I am. Like, that was hurtful for sure.
I don't do any of that. Like when some people, I don't care what's going on.
No, he's great at that, which helps me not care as much. But
I don't care about what anyone says. I don't care about comments. I don't care about press. I don't care about interview. I don't care about what anyone says. I
love that.
Yeah, I just try to.
Have you always been that way?
Yeah.
I believe him. I think she says, yeah, I don't care either, but obviously deeply, deeply cares and wants everyone to think she's perfect. That's the vibe I get.
What made you that confident? Because I think a lot of people need to hear that.
Because it's like this. Okay, why are you reading the comments? Okay, there's two reasons. You're either reading the comment because you want people to be like, oh my God, I love you. Or you want someone to say, you piece of shit, you're ugly, you look like shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and you don't need either one of those answers.
I agree.
I rather just free fall through life, and I don't need to know any of that stuff. And I've never even read an interview back ever that I've ever done. I don't look at the pictures. Like, I ask my manager, I say, hey, did I say something stupid in the interview? And if he says yes, I said, what did I say that was stupid? Or I say, okay, great. If it's something like, I don't want to know. There's always going to be.
Honestly, I think he should teach this to other celebrities, everyone. That is something I think they could all use, because I think that is the only way to deal with it. You can't take the praise and the adoration and all of that seriously, because that will rot your brain, and you can't overly obsess about negative comments and the haters and the dark web and all this stuff that they all claim. But that's what ruins their life. So if he's telling the truth, I think that is good advice that he should give other celebrities. Now, Selena Gomez, I think, struggles with this deeply, and I don't think she's over it yet.
Be someone trying to bring you down. Hating is free. Okay.
True.
So people are going to be hating all over the world. They're going to be hating from their bedroom. They're going to be, and I just don't even understand it. I've never even thought in my mind to go on someone's page and be like, Jay, that shirt's ugly. Why'd you wear that? Those stripes look like shit, Jay. No, I never even thought about that. Like, if anything, I write like, oh my God, I love this show, Jay. Like, I just don't think, We live in this weird world where people seek validation in so many different
That's
ways.
fair.
And I don't think we need, and I know it's hard.
Well, I'll speak to this because this is something I've been thinking about a lot when it comes to like snark pages. And that's something I obviously participate in on, different pages and listen to people. I think it's a necessary reaction to the shoving down our throat of these celebrities purposely on billboards, on commercials, on every TV channel, on every radio station, in every interview, on all the newscasts. They shove these people down our throats. Having autonomy and be able to go, you know what? I don't like this person, or I find something unattractive about them or whatever. I don't agree with people going on comments on Instagram and saying you suck, whatever. I disagree with that. I do think as a celebrity, you should not be reading the comments anyways. And you should, if you have the money to and the ability to like cut yourself off from it, because what else do you want? You're getting paid so much money, like just leave it there, like be grateful for that. And you don't need the adoration of every single person on earth to like breathe tomorrow. But I think, when it comes, what was I saying? Okay, I went off the deep end with that one. I went off a little off topic. But when it comes to regular people, I think we need to have outlets to be able to express negative opinions. If we said snark pages are banned from Reddit and we are only allowed to have fan pages, I think society would get worse and worse. I think we need a safe place to be able to express negative opinions so we don't feel insane for not worshiping celebrities. That's what I was trying to say. Thank you. Chels Marie, thank you so much. Chels Marie says, Cruel World, Happy Minds, latest on the Bieber dives Selena and her past. I've never been a huge fan, but I think she's been through some stuff. Benny seems like he's trying way too hard, though. Yeah, I'm curious about Selena's past. The only stuff I've really come across is like her trying to sound perfect and angelic, and then her making some questionable choices. Now, should she suffer? I don't think so, but like, should she be held up as a saint and an angel and like has never made mistakes? No. So I feel like she should be treated like everyone else. But her fans, from what I've seen, tend to think you're not allowed to criticize her at all. And if you do, you're a hater.
No.
Can I criticize her?
No.
Can I criticize her a little bit?
No.
Okay.
Stop it. Get some help.
Anyways, Chels Marie, thank you so much. And finally, I'll say this to you as well.
I'm outside the Cheesecake Factory waiting for it to open.
Okay.
I know it's hard and people want it and you want to read the comments. You want to look at it, but I just don't think I'm going to gain anything from it. In that time, I could be looking at those comments. I could be hanging out with my friends or like going on a walk or eating something delicious or on the phone with
much healthier.
Yeah, I think you have that too. And it's why you've been so successful in music, Benny, yourself, because I think you can create original sound because it's not trying to be like someone else or impress someone else. Like it's partly why you're so good at your craft.
Yeah.
Because to make great music, to invent new sounds, to create new genres, to create spaces for artists to play in, it requires that confidence in, I'm not trying to sound like this, I'm not trying to be like this, I'm not trying to impress. So it's really interesting too, because I feel like when you're growing up, your whole life you're told to fit in.
Yeah.
And then when you grow up, you have to stand out. But then when you stand out, then everyone has a chance to point fingers because when you're doing something differently, that's the only time people point fingers.
Yeah.
If you kind of follow what everyone else is doing, no one will ever point fingers.
Do you read the comments?
No, I'm the same as you, but I got really good advice.
No, I just read other people's work and put my name on it. That's what I do as Jay Shetty. I don't read comments, but I read other content and steal it. Duh.
Early on as well. I remember someone saying to me, they said, Jay, if you get 100 comments, you're going to look through all of them to find the one that's negative,
course.
right? That's the way the brain's wired.
Of course.
And then you make it out like that one negative comment is the entire comment section. And so if someone said, Jay, those stripes are ugly, I'm now walking around my whole life thinking
Worried
the stripes
about the
are ugly.
Yeah.
And let's get honest, that goes even deeper. If someone says something about you, when you were saying, like, if someone called you fake or someone called you
I was
this.
basically also going to point out that women have it much worse.
Please tell us about it from your perspective.
From my perspective,
Maybe so. I'm not saying she's wrong that women have it harder, but I don't know. I think this is actually a both issue. People accuse me all the time. They're like, if I talk about women, it's like, you're just bashing women. It's like, I will bash anyone I disagree with. Like, I don't know. This one happens to be a woman, and I am a woman myself, so I feel like I have some more similarities that I can compare to. But like, I don't know. I think a lot of people criticize everybody. I think we all need to go, this is a human problem, not a gendered problem. Personally, excuse me.
It's pretty wild. And I think this isn't news to anybody that obviously women have a lot more intense feelings from their appearance to, what they are wearing to everything. And I'm saying this is to me when I get prepared for an event, 90% of the time, I'm just like, I just hope I can take the picture and sit down. It's the character that gets judged. It's the way I'm not white enough. I'm not Mexican enough. I don't know. There's just so many different things that come up in my face that I can't help but see. But I feel
well, how can you not help but see? It sounds like you're reading the comments, so take a little responsibility, but okay.
Victim to like looking at things, and it doesn't add to your life, but it's just so difficult from the choices of, the people you date. It's like nobody cares about those kind of things with men. They're just like, yeah, they did that. They said that. They did this. Yeah. And so I think
I don't know. I disagree with that. I made a whole video about Jay Shetty, not because he's a man. I criticized him. I think a lot of people criticize women might take it more personally, but I think that's also on a case-by-case basis. I disagree with what she's saying personally.
We just carry a lot. Oh yeah, my weight's a big one too. Everyone just has something to say, and it's really making me sad. And not even sad, because you know what? No, I'm not a victim, everyone. I just think it's made me a tad bitter. And I feel really guilty for saying that, but it's true. Well, I don't know.
It's a really interesting time, isn't it? And I'm so happy that you both are talking about this, because I feel like on one end, we're all like,
they want to be successful and they want everyone to cheer them on. And I feel like that's an unrealistic expectation of the world, especially when people are suffering in the world. And then we're forced to watch these people succeed and make billions of dollars while we're struggling. I'm not even saying we. There's many, many, many people that are struggling 1,000 trillion times more than I am. Like, I feel like I have a very lucky life to even have a stable job and equipment and a YouTube channel. But you know what I mean? Like, I think that's part of it. It is a outward expression of the unfairness of the world. And when someone calls Selena Gomez fake, it's a way to feel better about our situation and the unfairness of what's going on in the world. Yes, she works hard. Yes, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But there is unfairness that people who do get a success early in life, they will continue to compound that success and make more and more and more and more and more money. And then we have to hear them grovel and complain about, oh, people don't like me on the internet. It's like, people don't like me, and I don't make the money and have the security that you guys have and go to the amazing dinners and like all the cool events. So get a grip.
Body positivity. Let's talk about mental health. Let's protect each other. Like, there's this whole conversation. And then on the other side, we're like pointing fingers at people about their weight and their appearance and whatever else it is, like you said, judgments of character, especially you're saying with women. And I find that so interesting.
And she's so skinny. What the fuck? Also, like, she's like my weight. I'm like, what are you, 110 pounds? Like, what are you talking about?
Because I'm like, wait a minute, don't we realize that the same people who are saying mental health matters are the same people that are pointing fingers at people that can affect people's mental health?
I'm just happier that I don't have that. I had to stop after a while, and I still take breaks completely because I'm human. So of course, sometimes I read things, but I do most of the time ignore most of everything. I don't have anything on my phone at the moment. So there are ways to combat it. I'm doing it. I'm not in like I hate it. I understand the power of what social media is. It's just tricky.
Yeah, it is very tricky. But thank you guys. Yeah, thank you for opening up about it, because I can imagine it just gets exhausting after a while. It's just just tired of it, just because it's all the same and you're processing all the same stuff. But What about for you, Selena? What's been the way that you've been able to manage your crazy work schedule, staying committed to the relationship, finding time to make memories and make space?
I think, I will say it's very hard for me. And like Benny said in the beginning, it was very difficult for me to take trips away. It just makes me feel, once I understood and got to know him, and I wasn't afraid to tell him, like, hey, I just want to make sure, like, it's not that I don't trust you. Can you just text me before you, go to your next thing? And I was able to do that with him, and he wasn't combative. He wasn't like, why? You don't trust me? It was just more like, yeah, I could totally do that. And with that, day by day, I feel more and more open, and, we're going to be separated again while I go shoot in New York. And, yeah, I'm ready for it. I think it's doable, but it's amazing. Not fun.
Exactly. It's not fun, but it sounds like you found a system that works for you. And the system is so simple, is literally just listening to the other person. If the other person says, hey, I need this, it's not now like a debate around whether they don't trust you. Because I think a lot of us, if someone said that to you, Benny, like, it would be easy for your reaction to be like, well, how can you not trust me? Like, you always know where I am. Like, why do I have to do this every day? Like, you could have that reaction, but that reaction doesn't make the relationship better. And I think that's where often that goes, where someone vulnerably says, hey, all I need is this.
If someone's coming at you with a certain energy, you're already going to buck back. Like, she always comes in a way where she's like, well, I didn't like this because of this, this, and this. I'm like, she just said it's so nice that I have to. I'm like, no, because I'm like, shit, I have to approach this in a different way, because she came at it with such class and effort. So like, I'm not going to come back at her like that. I'm going to come back at her and say, well, I agree with what you're saying, or, I disagree, and here's why, and that's how we talk through everything.
Yeah.
And then another thing was,
again, it's just supposed to be incredible information. We talk and we try to, make it not combative. Oh, well, and I think of this. This podcast sucks. I'm sorry.
I really wanted a person that when I wake up, I think to myself, I'm like, how can I make Selena's day better? Like, what can I do in my day to make her day better? Because then that makes my day better. And I wanted to find a person.
It's kind of interesting. Seems a little obsessive to me. I'm glad that it's nice to think of how to make someone's life better, but like, that's what you think every day. The first thing you wake up, how do I make her life better so my life is better, so I don't have to suffer with the consequences, or what? Seems a little cray-cray.
Person like that. And I know when Selena wakes up, like, the first thing she's thinking is like, how can I make his day better? And we have such a give and take. Like, I could never even see a world where I would ever yell at her. She would ever yell at me. Like, we don't argue like that. Like, I feel like we just have conversations. Like, there's never an argument. Sometimes she'll say, this is so funny.
Oh boy.
No. She'll do this and it's really cool. She'll go, I'm feeling a little irritated and I think I need like 25 minutes. And I'll say, okay. And then I give her space. And then after like 5 minutes, she texts me. She's like, hey, will you come back? I miss you. Yeah, but it's knowing that, and we have the proper boundaries set with each other. Like, I don't have to be on top of her every second. She doesn't have to be.
I also feel like they're 2 years in, talking about this as if they've solved relationships. Like, if you guys just did this exact blueprint, you would have a good relationship like us. It's tricky. It's very tricky. It's a bad precedent to send, I think. I think you should go through the relationship and say, hey, we're doing the best we can. We're doing really great. And leave it at that. Talk about other stuff. The fact that they're like saying, like, all you have to do is send one text a day and make sure that she's at the center of everything that you do, and call her 40 times and make sure she's comfortable. So, like, can you keep that up for life? I don't know. We'll see.
Be on top of me every second we're together. I just want to know she's in the house so I can say like, hey, I love you, and then go back to what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Because look, we're both highly independent people, okay? But we're both little mushes who just need to be attached at the hip.
We are so cheesy. It's so fun. Yeah.
But it's like, but I feel like, I think it helps us too that we're both, on my list, a thing was I wanted someone to be driven and inspired by something. I didn't care if they made any money or anything. I just wanted someone to be so into something that they did every day. And when she comes back from her day and she tells me what she did, I'm like, I'm not sitting there like, yeah, okay, mm-hmm. Like when you're talking to your mom, you know, when you're talking to your mom and you just say, your mom just keeps talking and you go, yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, like she comes back and like my eyes light up because I see the enthusiasm. I see what she did. And I'm like, and it inspires me. And I'm like, I got to do more in this thing. And it's like, we're in this place where we're inspiring each other. And we're so inspired by what the other person's doing. And
yeah, this is like the verbal equivalent of a really long Instagram post about your partner. Like, we've been through ups and downs. We are so strong. And it's like 12 pictures of them on a cruise in the Bahamas. And you're like, I wonder if they're on the rocks. I wonder if they're actually struggling, because the way they're talking is not how I would speak about someone I'm doing very well with.
And she'll help me out. She'll be like, well, what if you did it like this, this, and this? And I'm like, and then she'll say something and I'll be like, well, why don't you handle the situation? Because we have such different personalities that are also the same, but the thing that one of us is really good at, the other one maybe lacks a little bit, and vice versa. And it's so cool to be able to like workshop like little conversations or how to handle a situation. And I just feel so...
You're workshopping conversations? Okay.
So comfortable
That's
with
normal.
her, like that I can say anything and she won't ever say, I don't know.
I love the maturity. I mean, hearing you both talk about it.
Yes, but let's be clear. We are not the perfect.
No.
It's not perfect.
We're
no,
so
but you're
silly
disagreeing. No. But I think the maturity of, and I agree with you. I think that's actually the difference. And I'm glad you brought that up. I think there's a big difference between maturity and perfection.
Yeah.
Perfection is saying we never have a disagreement. We never have to take space from each other. You know, which you're not saying. You're saying, hey, I just asked for 25 minutes space. Yeah. And then I was like, wait a minute, I need you.
Yeah.
And I think there's a maturity in that, because it requires maturity from both parts.
Yes.
For you to first say, hey, I need space. For you to say, I get it, I respect you. And then for you to have the maturity to say, actually, I want you back.
Yeah.
And for you to be like, not like, oh, I told you so. For you to be like, I'm here for you. Like that's not perfection. To me, that's maturity. And I think I really want people to get that from it, that you are going to have disagreements. You are going to want space. Like me and Radhi went through that. At the beginning of our relationship, if we had a disagreement, and we were the same, we made a rule that we would never raise our voices at each other, because I came from a home where it was not great.
Yeah.
She comes from a home where her parents don't raise their voices. But I was just like, I never wanted that in my home. I wanted the energy of my home to be so sacred. And I wanted the energy of the home to always have a space where everyone just walked in and felt like a warm hug. And I was like, we can't argue and then expect that to happen. But it took a long time for us to realize that when she, at the start of our disagreements, she wanted space. And I used to say to her, well, if you don't want to talk about it right now, that means you don't care about me. And that wasn't true. She just needed space to process. So it took time for us to mature, for me to realize, wait a minute, you wanting space is you caring for the relationship.
Some people, I get it. They want to talk about it right then. The one thing that also works for us so much is like, we're not chill people, but we're never going to get, I'm not going to yell at anyone in my life.
Yeah, same.
And you know,
I can see Jay Shetty screaming at an assistant or screaming at a PR agent that, you know, didn't book him the next $1 million tour. I feel like he would 100% scream at somebody. Benny Blanco, I don't know. I don't see him necessarily either way. I think I just don't care enough about him to give an opinion. Selena Gomez, I could see her screaming at somebody. For sure, 1,000%. She would do it really passive aggressively, but I could see her being extremely angry, which is fine. You're allowed to be extremely angry. But she would say, I would never do that. But I think she would, personally.
I came from a home where a lot of that was happening. And I saw at a young age, and I was just like, well, my parents weren't speaking the same language. Obviously, they were speaking the actual same language. They weren't speaking the same language to each other to communicate. And if someone comes at you hostile right away, the first thing I'm going to do, and I know she's going to do, is shut down. So you're not getting anything, and I always say this, the guys are so quick to they got to win. They got to win the argument. And it's like, what are you doing? What are you winning? Like, you're going to argue with your wife and like make her cry. And then you're like, I won that argument. And then she hates you and resents you. Like, wait, like, don't be an idiot. And it's like,
I've been guilty though, to start.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not of you, sorry. I think for me, I necessarily felt like in other situations of mine, it was, I was very reactive. I think that's why I was alone for 5 years, because I really needed to collect myself. I think in the past, that's why I say to him all the time, and 10 years ago, it's not that I wouldn't have wanted to be with you. I just wouldn't have been in the right headspace. And I don't think that you deserve what I had gone through before. So I've learned.
I feel like she, and I guess it could be the medical stuff, whatever. I don't know enough, but she feels to me like she's on like Xanax. That's the vibe I get from her. Like the way she reacts, the way she moves. I get Xanax vibes.
A lot of lessons.
I don't know anything about that, but like that's what I would imagine you would act like if you were on that.
And I've made mistakes, and I just want this to be right. So for me, that was a lesson that I had to learn, because I think girls can equally want to be right. That for me, it was really difficult in the past, and he's made it unbelievably easy to the point where if I even get to the point where I'm so frustrated, he's like very quick to understand. I hear you, like you're allowed to feel that. And that helped me shift where my mind used to go, which was a little bit of anger. So
it was the validation of how you felt in those reactive moments.
Yes.
That allowed you to not be reactive. What was it that allowed you? Because I feel like, as Benny was saying earlier, you carry this baggage from all of our relationships into this one.
I respect Benny. Because he's done nothing but respect me. I, again, trust him. I can tell him anything, even if it's about something that's uncomfortable and maybe you should just talk to your girlfriends. Like, he is that. And that helps calm me down to say, okay, so I'm going through these things because of maybe what I had before or whatever it is. It's nothing is ever bad. Like, nothing in my life I regret. And I'm so happy for my journey. And I'll continue to be. It is a lesson that you have to be patient and learn. And I can never picture myself disrespecting him. I think.
Well, it's also just a different thing, because it's like, look, none of us are perfect. Like, she gets spicy sometimes.
Yeah.
And when I see something happening, it's about guiding the missile, not adding a jetpack on top of it with like machine gun artillery. Like, I want to make, if I see her getting to a place where I'm like, man, in 5 minutes from now, this room could explode. I'm never going to let it get to that 5 minutes from now. I'm going to say, what are all the tools that I know that work for her?
I will say too, for them being long distance and only together for 2 years, it feels like they have a lot of examples of fights that they had, even though they say they never fight and they never argue. They have like many, many examples of, this one time that we fought, this other time that we fought, this other time that I needed space. It's like, seems like quite a lot for a freshly new couple personally, but okay, whatever. Again,
I've learned over, like, I'm not going to exacerbate a situation. I'm going to try to calm it down, because why do I want to be in that position where we're both just like upset about something? I don't want to just calm it down and tell her what she wants to hear. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying like to your partner, be like, yes, you're right. You're totally right. Like everything no. I think you listen and you say like, okay, we're like, sometimes I'll say like, let's not let it get there. Let's like just talk about this. And I do think physical touch is always like a very big way. Like, if you're in a conversation with your partner, like, it's like sometimes just like a hand helps, or just holding their hand while you're telling them, or giving them a hug while you're.
They have not touched once in this entire interview, which I find to be interesting. I guess I could argue the other way, like, oh, they're just being performative if they're touching the whole time, but they do seem to be very much like, she's not moved once. And again, maybe it's because of her rare medical things that she doesn't move much, but I don't know how she's then acting and doing music and physical stuff all day if she can't move in a chair. But okay. They seem very distant physically together. Like, even him touching her leg for that second, He immediately took it off. He wasn't like, oh, babe, you know, it was like, it seems, again, PR-ish. Like, are they even together?
You're telling them, and if someone's upset, let them talk it out first. And then after they talk it out, be like, okay, well, here's what I think, you know, and you can work through these things together. There's such an easy way.
Very constructive.
Yeah, it's not always easy. I can tell you that. And sometimes someone wants to be frustrated. And it's like, sometimes she'll tell me that. She'll just be like, I know it's going to be okay, but like, I just want to be frustrated in this moment.
Yeah.
And I'll have to redirect because I'll be like, you know what? You have every right to be in this moment. And she'll say, this is why I want to be frustrated in this moment. She said it the other day about something. I can't even remember. And I was just like, oh my God. I was like, yeah. I was like, that makes so much sense. I was like, I don't agree with the frustration. We'll get there afterwards. And I was like, but I get it. I get it. And it's so cool. And I've never quite had a relationship like with her. And
Apparently he's only had one girlfriend, according to the internet.
This thing from perfect in the world. We're perfect for each other. We're not perfect for everyone else. But I think the thing that's cool is that we've had all these experiences. I've had all my experiences where it wasn't right. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to change that the next time, you know, with this person or with that person. And I think that's when you really grow, is when you take all your experiences, good or bad. Like I'm like her. I take every experience in my life, my past partners, my family, my everything. It's like everything happened for a reason. And I'm not going to sit here and mope about like things that could be better or different. What I'm going to do is
Again, they've not talked about one specific thing, really. It's all been vague. I hate that. I don't know any context of anything that they're talking about.
I'm going to say, okay, I learned this and now I'm going to put it into practice.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. For me, I always say to Radhi, I always say to my wife, do you want me to listen? Do you want me to fix this? Or do you just want me to go through it with you?
Yeah. Because a lot of times
make it clear for me, because
they don't want you to fix it right away. And I'm saying men or women. Sometimes it's not about fixing. You know, everyone is, you know, I'm such a problem solver and you are too. So it's like your first thing, I know the first thing in your head is like, how can I fix this situation? But sometimes it's not about fixing it right there. Sometimes it's about just like, you know, especially for women who are like strong, like both our partners, they don't have a lot of time to be vulnerable in all the areas of their life. They have the world on their backs. Your wife there's so many people that rely on her. There's so many people that rely on her. So sometimes they just want to complain about something, and that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, for
it's okay. Who else are they going to do it to? They might as well do it, and you just listen.
I have to ask you both about this because I was so excited when the news came out, and it just, you know, it was so beautiful to see it go from where it started to this, but your proposal, and now you're engaged, and like that, just I can tell. I mean, it feels just beautiful being in the same space with you both, loving on each other, which is great. Selena, what was the proposal like? Like,
we have a video of it, but I want to save that for us and just keep that private. But basically, what I will share is that I thought we had a shoot that day, and I had hair and makeup, and I was doing my regular day. I get in the car, and I'm thinking to myself, where are we going? Because at this point, I feel like I know a lot of the studios that I go to. And I just started getting a little frustrated because I was like, this seems far, right?
And
I'm
who's
just
in the car?
talking,
Just you?
just me and my security. And he's laughing because he's just like, oh, it's just, you know, I don't know. It's a new space. I was like, okay. We get out. I walk in, and all of a sudden I see no one's in the room. And I just look at my assistant, and she just shuts the door. And I was like, and I like kind of walked on to, you know, the area that he had set up. And, you know, I think you envision all the things that you would do and say when someone asks you, but it is actually the craziest feeling. It was really special. He said the sweetest things, but I also was so shocked that it just felt unreal for a long time. And I don't know, I've always dreamt of that moment, and he couldn't have made.
We got zero details. She was in a room and he said sweet things. Amazing story. Thank you so much for telling it. The storytelling of this is absolutely incredible.
Made it more perfect.
Could I have like a detail? What were you wearing? What was it like? Nothing.
Perfect. Yeah, it was one of the best days of my life for sure.
I wasn't nervous until 1 second before. I was so not nervous. I was doing work until 1 second before. I was approving masters for an album that was coming out that night. And then right when it happened, right when it was about to happen, I said, oh shit, what the am I going to say? And I'm so good with words usually. God, I can't remember anything. If we didn't have a video of it, I wouldn't even remember what I said. You know, I had known I was going to propose to her for so long. And
for so long? You've only known each other for 2 years. Come on.
You know, I never cared about marriage. It wasn't a thing in my head. She cared about it so much. So I said, well, now I care about it because she cares about it. And I found myself not even thinking it was going to be a big deal till I was there. And then I said, holy shit, I'm getting married now. And in the moments leading up to it, it's not really real until it's real.
Mm.
I remember it was so special for me because it was special for her. And then it was, she said, the 2 times you said that were the best things in your life were that. And then when I got you Whataburger.
Yeah.
What's this? I want to know about this.
Whataburger is a restaurant chain that...
Bitch, we know what it is. A hamburger is when you have bread on top of meat, and sometimes you put sauce and lettuce and tomatoes, and sometimes onions. No, it's too fast. Sometimes onions, and you eat it. What? That was kind of weird. Oh, she liked the proposal, but she also likes when he got her Whataburger one time. It's on the same level. Red flag, red flag. Hello. Rachel, help us out here.
This situation is a red flag.
I'm not sure where they are, but they're not in California and they're not in New York. And I love this chain so much because there's a million in Texas where I'm from. And I love the biscuits, Texas toast, and gravy. It's so good. Okay. And we don't have that. And for Valentine's Day, he surprised me. And this was it. This is all we really did. I was on the phone and he comes in with Whataburger. And I literally look at him like I'm freaking out. And he had someone, apparently they opened up in Vegas. And while we were talking, someone drove, kept it warm, and then
didn't keep it warm.
Did you reheat it?
Yeah, what I did was I got all the parts to it and talked to the people there and figured out how I could reheat it the best way. And I was reheating it in all different ways, putting it together, and then I brought it to her. Because to me, someone like Sel could have anything in the world. The best thing you could do, and she said it right after. She said, right when I gave it to her, she said, I can't believe you listened and remembered my order and remembered all these things in such an easy way. And then you just did it. She said, that's what makes this gift so special is that you actually listened to the things and it goes.
I agree. That sounds like a nice thing. I don't know why it's at the same level as their proposal, but yeah, that sounds like a nice thing that he did. And I would appreciate a gift like that for sure. Someone listened to my casual, oh my God, my favorite restaurant is Arby's. And then someone got me Arby's and brought it to the house. That'd be amazing. But I don't know how this compares to, I guess, because it was a special thing, I guess. I don't know. Beach Rando. Thank you so much, Beach Rando. Beach Rando says, I'm 3 minutes in and already on divorce watch. Yeah, maybe... they're not even married yet, so we may not even make it to the altar watch. Jay Shetty should be the officiant, and he's got a track record of officiating couples that end up getting divorced, a la Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. So he's on track. They're on track for sure to be broken up by 2027, for sure.
I don't regret anything.
Love, L is for the way you look at me.
I love you.
Thanks, Beach Rando.
Such a long way.
We're almost done.
But I did say my 2 favorite moments are the proposal and Whataburger.
I was just
so far, and he's done wonderful things.
That's brilliant.
I was just thinking something so crazy. Did you know we were born within 10 minutes from each other?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
On the same day?
No.
Oh.
Place.
Oh,
Because he was born in Texas.
Yeah, I was born right near her, like 10, 15 minutes away.
And you never met in Texas ever?
No, he can't claim.
I don't claim Texas.
No.
No, I was born in Texas, but I grew up in Virginia.
I claim Texas.
She claims Texas.
Got it.
She
Got
claims
it.
Texas.
Yeah.
What do you remember your proposal?
Of course I remember.
No, I have amnesia. That's funny. It's like, what do you guys have in common? Oh yeah, we were born in the same location, 6 years apart, but yeah, we have so much in common. It's like, okay, scraping the barrel.
Remember my proposal?
What'd you do?
It was very. I would say I was definitely impacted by lots of social
Are they
media.
married? I don't think they are. Let me check. Hold on. I think they're fiance. Benny and Selena married? No, I don't think so. Benny. They are not married. They are planning their wedding and they haven't gotten married yet until that Google says.
Media trends
There you
for
go.
sure. In my first chapter of my second book, which is all about love.
And on Reddit, it says, Benny Blanco reveals fiance Selena Gomez was grumpy on day of his proposal and almost didn't come. Huh. So that's maybe why they brushed it under the rug real quick about this proposal. Yeah, it was amazing. He said really sweet things. But one time he gave me Whataburger. Whataburger, located in Texas, 1,000 locations, sesame seed buns and ketchup at all condiment bars. Dr. Pepper is my favorite. I love Whataburger. Thanks for sponsoring this interview. Interesting. Top comment. You know, this is the first time I've heard him talk, and he actually seems like a very down-to-earth guy, and they seem lovely together. You can always tell when a guy is all about his woman because he remembers the small details. Him remembering that she was talking to her grandma while planning out the V-Day present was very sweet to me. Okay. All right, back to this one.
I talk about how I would redo my proposal because
you didn't like
was
it?
so, not that I didn't like it. It was perfect for the time, but it so wasn't us. Like it could have been. It could have been.
What was it?
So I'll tell it. It's embarrassing, but I'll tell it. So we were walking down one of our favorite walking paths on the bank of the Thames in London.
Yeah.
And we're walking down. I told Radhi that we were going to a dinner with my family and it was in a nice place. So she's dressed up and everything. And we come out and then this random guy out of nowhere walks out with a bouquet of flowers, a massive one. He hands it to her. And then I had an a cappella group sing Bruno Mars. And it was really sweet. They were great. They were very talented. And then I got down on one knee and then I asked her to marry me. And thankfully, I was crying the whole time.
Yeah.
Thankfully, she said yes. But I tell that story to say it could have been anyone's proposal.
Yeah.
And I had food brought in from her favorite restaurant. But by the time I got there, it was cold. And I didn't.
This is such a humble brag. He's like, did a really nice proposal. Very thoughtful, planned. And he's like, oh, but it could have been better. I could have done better because I'm a better guy than even this proposal, which is really nice. And like, I could have like flown her in a private jet because I'm super rich. It's like, okay. He's like, oh yeah, I'm just not that great. What was wrong about that? I went to her favorite path. I got food from her favorite restaurant, but it was cold. So, fuck me, I guess. It's like, okay, sure. I'm by that. Beach Rando, thank you. Beach Rando says, even Rachel Hollis is more interesting than these two. Yeah, Rachel Hollis is 1,000 million times more interesting than these people. At least she's got quirky, wacko things to say and new updates about her philosophy every 2 seconds that interest me to no end. So I agree with you. These 2/3 are just not my cup of tea, if you know what I mean.
I love selling stuff online.
He's not selling this interview very well. Or this podcast, to be quite honest. It's so fucking boring. Excuse my language again, but it's so boring. Boring. What's the intrigue here? Even the coming soon teasers, bad. So lukewarm. Anyways, okay, back to it. His subpar proposal. He's gonna talk us through that even more.
I didn't do what you did, Benny, so I messed up. And then when we walked around the corner, there was a white horse-drawn carriage that took us around the city.
I'm dying.
But then when we were going back to her parents on the train to tell her parents what had happened. And I told them I was proposing that night. But we were going to hers and we got to her house and her parents opened the door And they looked at her and they were like, what did he do to you? Because she had hives all over her face because I didn't know she was allergic to horses and she didn't know either. And so that was the night we figured out that she was allergic to horses.
That's amazing.
And so that story reminded me that I did know her, but I didn't.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've been together.
Well, she didn't even know herself. So I guess you're off the hook, Jay. Oh, what a heartwarming story.
Yeah.
The thought is what counts.
Yeah, I was trying really hard.
No, it's
but it's one of the, we've been together for 12 years and married for 9, so we're doing all right. But I look back on it and I look at how much of my life was just
They're
impacted.
twins. They look exactly like each other. If you haven't seen them together, they look like brother and sister.
By the world of love. And now knowing my wife as deeply as I do, I would do it completely differently. So I'm trying to convince her to renew our vows and our 10 years of marriage. And also because our
We'll
friends...
make content out of it. That's what we're doing it for. We all know that, right? It's content, because they didn't record every single second of it when they got proposed. So they lost an opportunity. They have to redo it now.
Things have changed. Like, we got married nearly 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
We moved
Look
country.
at how much your life.
Yeah, so much has changed. And so I'm like, the people I want to celebrate my...
Did you even have the podcast then?
No, nothing.
10
no,
years
no,
ago? What the Yeah, 10 years ago.
When did you have the podcast?
Podcast is 6 years old. Yeah.
And wasn't she on like your first ever episode?
She was my first episode. Yeah, my wife's my first episode. Yeah,
That's
for sure.
so sweet.
But yeah, I would do it again. And I think it's a great reminder of just how much we evolve and mature in relationships and how it's okay to look back and go, hey, like, you know.
It's a great story.
Yeah, it's a fun story. But yeah, no, I'm so happy to hear about how beautiful this proposal was. You nailed it, Benny. You just, you know.
No, we just...
Didn't describe any part of the proposal. At least we got some details with his.
You're the man. I mean, it's beautiful to hear. And I mean, last time we were together, Benny, you were talking about wedding planning. How's that going?
We have not even begun because I think for right now, there's just so much going on. I have to go and shoot a series for a while. And I don't know. We'll just see. We're not in any rush. And I'm excited
I'm
to
just
see
happy
what
she
happens.
said yes. I don't even care about the next one.
I don't think they're going to get married. Prediction time. I don't think they're going to make it to the altar.
But like we're we've been doing so much stuff. We haven't even gotten to really just like bask in the glory.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think we're looking forward to doing that in New York a little bit. And
what does that look like for both of you? Just you two spending time together?
Yeah, he's very good at like organizing and planning. And I'm very visual. So I'm like, this is what I like and this and this. And then he figures out how to.
It'll be whatever.
He's like a great assistant for her.
Told me the types of things she likes and wants for a wedding.
It'll be fun.
I love it. You both obviously got back into the studio together, recorded an amazing album. I got to listen to bits of it. It was an interesting process, but I'll tell you about that offline.
Okay.
But I got to listen to it. And what I loved was I was surprised. I thought it was going to be about your relationship, but it sounded that it was about a history of your life, Selena. It felt like a history of love.
But the interest...
He's staring off into space. He's like, I thought it was going to be about your relationship, but it's actually about all your past relationships. Very interesting timing on that. It's like, yeah, because they're not actually in a real relationship. This is a PR stunt that has been manufactured to make her look cool and relatable. Just like these slippers right here. Again, these slippers represent this relationship. You're supposed to believe that she's just regular and normal and not a billionaire mogul who's unrelatable.
Interesting part is it actually has multiple different stories.
Yeah.
Some of the songs are actually about, his past relationship. So I think that it was really special because we were able to talk about those kind of emotions and feelings. And not a lot of people maybe feel that comfortable doing that with a partner, but I don't know. We told each other all kinds of things like I would if I was in a session with someone I trusted. And so, yeah, you'd be surprised. I mean, of course, it's not all about, rainbows and sunshine, but it's real. And I think these are all feelings people have felt before. And that's what we really wanted, is people to connect to the music, whether you like it or not. We're just stoked that we got to make an album that we're proud.
No,
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
I feel like the thing that's so cool about it is I've been fortunate enough
She's got 4 cups on the table and she drinks the water cup.
to make a lot of songs in my day. And people come up to me all the time and they say, this song changed my life because I was going through the same thing. And sometimes it is what I wrote about, and sometimes they think the meaning is nothing of what I wrote about. But that's the best part about music, that it hits you. It's like music is one of the senses. It's like food. It's like there's certain things, certain smells, certain songs. They bring you back to a time immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
like you're immediately
sure.
transported. And
I agree.
it's so cool that everybody can be listening to the same song and have a completely different relationship with it. I feel like that's so cool.
What was it like going from working together that first time to this time? Like, what was different? And
What was
changed?
different
I
is
can
I
kiss
never
her.
allowed him in the room.
I can kiss her now.
And I like to record alone.
What's really different is
Okay.
I feel like we got to talk about stuff that she would never talk about as an artist if it wasn't with her partner being next to her. And honestly, I would
Same.
I would just write everything she said. Sometimes she'd wake up from a dream and she's like, I had this terrible dream and this is what it was and blah, blah, blah. I write it down. Then it becomes a song.
Wow.
It was so cool being able to, I don't know, it was like therapy.
Well, you were saying to me when we spoke on the phone, I think it was last week, you were saying that there was it was like a safe space to be
You could
so
say whatever
open.
you could say whatever
about-
you want. There's certain things you wouldn't be able to say if I was just, hey babe, like I just want to, she'd be like, what the talking about? But if somehow like when I'm playing chords while we're saying it,
Like
it's like,
what?
oh, okay.
What
And
a great story.
yeah, and you can just talk about things and you're more open. It's like a therapy session. It's like it's
Again, give me an example. Give me one line of specificity where you can like tell me. So, for example, I said the line that I say, Justin B is my BB for Ever. I'm a believer. Like that means to me, whatever. Is that what you're talking about? Or like, does it say, I loved and I was hurt? Okay, wow, so vulnerable. I don't know. Again, the vagueness is holding me back from understanding anything about these two.
a safe place. And like, it was cool to learn things about her that I don't know if I would have learned ever or as soon as I did.
Did it bring you closer? When making the
loves
album?
that
Like, what was it like
juice.
being together, but then making an album together and being together?
Absolutely. We were able to share things with each other, and he would listen to my doubts and he would give me great notes, and it was never criticizing. It was always coming from a really gentle place. And I think it absolutely has brought us closer, but that's also time and spending it with him. It's
Yeah.
really-
Also, we got to spend so much more time together.
Yeah.
Like, because
It was
like our work days got.
Another relationship that's fully dependent on, am I profiting from the time spent here? If not, let's not be together. They're profiting, they're making money, they're making an album together. Therefore, okay, this is where we can spend time together. Seems a little weird again.
To blend a little.
Yeah.
It's a great excuse to spend time together.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to find ways to work more with my wife.
I know.
Yeah.
And then just trying to come up with new excuses.
I know.
to do
That's
stuff.
all I want to do.
Yeah. That's how I would do it too. And you had some amazing collabs as well on the album. I mean,
Yeah, there's
obviously you've launched a song with Gracie, and
Yeah.
Gracie's amazing. She's
Oh my God.
spectacular.
I'm
so.
so happy that she was just such a doll and so talented. And you've known her, so
Yeah,
I
for a
shouldn't
long-
say
long
that since
time.
she was like 13, but I love her.
Did you interview her yet?
No, I haven't yet. Yeah. You've been a fan for a while?
I've known her since she was 14.
Wow.
So to see
what
where
way?
I put her on an album like 5 years ago.
Wow.
So like to see where she's gone is so cool. And you know, I'm always one who like loves new talent, new artists, and she's great. She's
He's the only guy that likes new things. No one else likes new talent.
such
but
a
him.
great point of view. Her writing comes from such a good place.
Great
and it's just
writing.
like, I love people where it feels like they're like, and Selena does it too, where it feels like they're just kind of talking to you. And then you're like, oh, wait, I'm listening to a song. But like, what?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, it's just, you know, making the album with her, I felt like it taught me, I was just like, we're really good at communicating with each other and saying like, and setting boundaries and saying when we like something, when we don't like something.
Yeah. How do you
Give an example.
do that when you're in a relationship? And you're like, I actually don't like the sound of that. Like that. That
just-
seems.
We're both, I think it comes down to ego, and we both don't really have that. So if we disagree on something, it's like,
Okay,
okay,
sure.
agree to disagree. Like,
Yeah.
that's fine. But yeah, of course, if I say, I don't know if I like that, he most of the time doesn't even question it and just is really receptive to my. Yeah, we just don't have any.
Now, how are you to his critique? She's like, yeah, he changes whenever I say that he should change. It's like, well, does it work the other way around or what?
Go, so it doesn't matter. He could say, no, I don't like it. And I'd be like, okay.
That's amazing. What are you hoping that, is there a song on there that you're really excited for fans to hear or anything specific?
I think I want people to hear the whole body of work. And like, I don't really think about music like that. I make it for myself. And and luckily people happen to like some of it. And we started this thing in our room and we recorded the whole album in the house and with our friends.
That's so intimate. Have you ever done that before?
Not like this.
No.
And it was like, it kind of blurred reality a little. It was the most fun I ever had. And I just like wanted a piece of music to be able to, I don't know, one day.
I think this is the key to marketing. Like, this is the era that we're in. Get people with big names, have them, if you can master this skill, I'm going to start a course. Master the skill of being uninteresting for long periods of time and yet still become the #1 podcast in the world. This is the #1 podcast in the world or whatever. Like, this is ear painly boring. My eardrums are like, we need something more interesting. It's going to start bleeding any second. But that's what I think the key is. It's so digestible. There is no controversy. There is no intrigue. There is no interest. It's so middle of the road, but it has a celebrity name attached to it. That's the love. That's what YouTube loves to push onto you. That's what Spotify loves to. This is what corporate America loves to push onto everybody because it's swallowable. Again, the shoving down of these people down our throats. They can't actually talk about anything real. They have to talk about something so benign and boring that there is no depth to it at all. But that's the key. These people are experts at talking about nothing for an hour and a half. Nothing. Not one thing have I heard.
Like show our kids and be like, look at this. Like, look at this thing mommy and daddy made.
That's pretty
and it was
amazing.
Like, I can't believe it. Like, it's so cool to me.
Yeah.
I don't care what happens with it. I was just like so excited to do this with the person I love and freeze a moment in time in a way that not a lot of people have the ability to do. And like we were lucky enough to do that.
Yeah. Selena, you mentioned earlier always wanting to be a mom, and Benny, you just mentioned kids. Are you both like big family, lots of kids kind of people?
I mean, I don't know what will happen, obviously, but I love children. I mean, I have an 11-year-old sister that I absolutely adore, and I'm still doing wizards this far along because I love children. I love making them laugh. They're just so sweet. So absolutely, when that day comes.
Okay, I know I'm a super hater, but it's a weird thing to say. I love children. I love making them laugh. Do you like the attention that children give you, or do you like children? Because making children laugh is a weird way to say that you like children. I love my children audience because they really buy merch. That's what the vibe I'm getting versus you've actually spent time with a child.
I'm so excited for it.
It's funny. We'll be at like a gathering or a party. And not many people know this, but like Selena is like the ultimate level of shy. Like the ultimate level of shy. Like
I don't know a lot of people. Sometimes I get shy.
Couldn't be more of like an introvert, shy, which is crazy because she's the biggest star in the world. And it's like,
I'm not. I hate
when she walks into a room.
She's so humble. She's so humble. She has the most followers on Instagram of anyone else. But she hates when he says that. Ugh, I hate it, babe. Don't touch me.
To him.
Her main goal is to like disappear into the crowd. That's like
No, it's not. That is not her goal. You're misled, sir. Come on.
Her goal is to just like everyone. It's my mom is very similar. Her and my mom are very similar, and they're never gonna. If there's a crowd of people, they're never gonna like be like how like me or probably you would do. Where we're like, blah, 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 like we're talking. They're not going to do that. They'll like wait and say like one thing throughout the night that winds up being like the most poignant or funny thing of the night. But like, I'm going to have diarrhea of the mouth talking to everyone. And whenever there's kids at a place, it's the only time I see her do that. She immediately goes to the kids and like has these conversations for like hours with the kids. It's taking care with the kids.
Weird. That's weird, right? Hours of talking to random children? Weird. Stop that.
And I think it probably also has to do with like, when you started doing this, you were a kid and that was your way to connect to people. And I feel like you still feel like you have that obligation to connect with like young kids because you shaped so many young people's lives, whether it was Barney, whether it was Wizards. And I feel like you're still finding your way to do that. And it's so crazy just to see, because she's transcended into so many different categories. It's so hard to call her like, a pop star, an actress, that. You don't know what to call her. It's just so much
just
of a multi-hyphenate. Yeah.
Just your name. Yeah.
Oh, God.
You notice it sometimes when we see people because
Tell me more.
you'll see a little girl come up to her cry. Then you'll see her older sister that's like 20. Then you'll see the mother. And then the grandmother. So like it's like she's hitting all these boxes in people's lives and
She's an advertiser's dream. Colgate cannot get enough.
touching so many people. And she's such a hermit that she doesn't even realize it all the time.
Okay, the big question of the day I see. Tarot. T-A-R-O-T or T-A-R-O. The correct answer is... Oh, I took off the drum. I used to have a drum. Hold on. The correct answer is T-A-R-O-T. Like the card. Okay, I ruined that moment. Sorry.
And, I'm always reminding her of like what she's doing and how special it is and how she's always been so, outspoken and will always say what's on her mind and is always...
But she was shy and doesn't ever talk to anybody. She's always outspoken and always speaks her mind. It's so contradictory.
I just feel like there's not a lot of people who are like just absolutely authentically themselves. And like, that's what draws me towards her more than anything else. She's always going to tell you.
If people have to convince you you're authentically yourself, I'm sorry to say, I don't think you're authentically yourself. I don't think anyone, okay, for example, I watch a lot of like Quentin Tarantino interviews lately. I don't think anyone's like going around Hollywood and going, he's so authentically himself. He is just real. I am so authentically myself. It's like he's pretty just authentically himself by speaking about the work that he's doing. Like, I find people who have careers that aren't in the entertainment space just are themselves. They don't have to convince us by telling us. Show, not tell.
How she's feeling. She's always going to be herself. She's never going to try to be somebody else.
Well said.
I love it.
Oh, Benny and Selena, I'm so grateful to you both for just opening your hearts, being so...
Only with you.
Huh?
Only with you.
Yeah, I can't believe you got her to say some of this stuff.
Yeah?
She never said...
What did she say? She said literally nothing. Like the most benign conversation I've ever heard in my life. She's like, I can't believe you let her say this. What did she say? That some people don't like her? Oh, very vulnerable.
Very, very.
She would never say any of this.
Is there anything you didn't say that you wanted to say? I want to make sure.
No.
I mean that in a genuine way.
I'm thinking. I'm just really grateful that people like you exist because you bring so much joy to people and also understanding.
He's a plagiarist, capitalist, greedy MRFer that is just like anyone else on the street, but he's got a lot of drive to make money. Oh, so grateful for you. Shut up.
Many different ways of life and navigating that, and I think you're a great example. So
talking like he's fucking Gandhi. Like, come on, get a better role model.
I just would like to say thank you. I trust you with that information, and it's always a pleasure to be with you. So thanks for having us.
No, you're both just so special. You've always been I've always said, Selena, for years that, no matter, and those moments where I could tell you were shy or wanting to disappear, but always being so gracious and kind to me and my wife whenever we were together and making us feel comfortable, even if you felt uncomfortable. And Benny, just the wonderful conversations we've had over the last couple of years. And I feel like we've done everything. We've talked about so many different things, and we are both kind of like that. Back and forth kind of people. But you've both done the final 5 before on the show. So we wanted to do something different with you both.
Okay.
We wanted to play a little couples game.
Oh.
So I'm going to hand you
Oh my God.
these boards.
Oh, I know exactly
so
what
you
this
take
is.
one each. They're fun questions. Fun questions.
Okay.
I'm not going to take what you just told me and turn it around.
Okay.
So we're going to do... I'm going to ask you questions. You both have to write something down and then we'll reveal. So don't look at each other's answers.
Okay.
Question number 1. If Benny would cook you anything in the world, Selena, what would he choose to cook for you?
Whataburger.
So both of you can write down. So Benny, if you were going to cook anything for Selena, what would it be?
Ooh.
Like, what do I think she wants the most?
Yeah.
Ooh, because there's a few.
It's like 4 or 5 things. Oh, I think I know what she's going to say.
It's a hard question.
No, I think I know.
Is
Should
it
I
a
write down
hard
3?
question?
No.
For anyone who doesn't know, Benny is an insane connoisseur of food.
Very good.
I think I know.
Okay.
Spaghetti.
I don't think it's going to be the same thing.
It's okay. That means you just...
That's okay. There's more. 3, 2, 1.
Corn dip.
I did steak. I thought you were
That's
gonna say
actually,
that.
that's what I wrote.
That's what you... Oh, you did?
Yes,
Yeah.
but I loved, he makes this corn
Sure. That's what I wrote, but I deleted it.
dip that I can
Ooh.
just eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Well, that's a good thing that there's more than one thing.
There's a lot.
That's a good thing. Yeah, that's
That's a
amazing.
good
I
thing
love it.
that
All
you
right.
like more than one food. Oh, this conversation is so enlightening and amazing.
Selena, if you would cook anything for Benny, what would you choose to cook?
Okay.
All right.
Oh my
She
gosh.
keeps erasing
What
it.
did I do?
Oh my gosh.
Wait, is it not what I think you're going to say?
Rice.
I think you're going to say this.
Oh, Pop-Tart.
Because I like,
I got mine.
You got it, Benny, already?
Yeah. I think so. I don't
okay.
know. What do
Okay.
you write
3,
down?
2, 1.
Pizza.
Corn.
Yeah, corn. Okay, there we go.
Corn.
Corn.
She's obsessed with corn. It's corn. A big lump with nuts. That's Selena Gomez's new song.
Corn souffle, corn foot.
Very
What was
aligned.
his?
I
What
like-
was his answer? I missed it. Corn pudding? The fuck?
Corn.
Yeah, corn. Okay, there we go.
Pudding,
Corn.
corn souffle, corn foot.
Very aligned. I
I
like this.
said order a pizza.
You're doing good. This is great. Okay, this one's a bit more. I'm intrigued to see what comes out of this.
Oh,
It's not.
boy.
It's not about how well you know each other.
What's
It's
your
an
favorite brand of water? I mean.
interesting one. If your partner could master any skill instantly, what would it be?
BJ's. Sorry. Don't hear. Close your ears.
Selena's very confident. Everyone who's listening and not watching, it's like every time I ask a question, her pen hits the.
She's very confident, then she deletes it immediately or erases it. God, deletes it. I'm cooked. We're cooked. Erases it immediately. She's confident, but then second guesses herself.
Hits the board immediately. All right.
Go.
What do we have?
Get to it.
3, 2, 1.
Everything.
It's annoying to be able to sleep through the night.
Yeah.
That's what you would want. That's what you would want.
Yeah.
As your superpower.
No.
What the hell? She looks disgusted by his answer. Okay. The superpower you think the other person would be able to master immediately, his is she will sleep through the night. And he's like, that's what you want? Weird. And she says anything and everything. He can master anything and it's annoying. Great couple.
Yeah.
I thought it was saying
If you could master a skill.
If
master a skill. Yes.
Yeah, like,
I'm
so
sorry.
yours-
He'll put on a video game. He will be well. He'll play basketball. He does well. He'll do like Pro Tools and then he'll do like all this stuff.
I feel like this is the skill she'd want to master.
To be able to sleep through the night.
Yeah,
That's a real one.
absolutely.
That's a lot of people are struggling
She
with
doesn't
that.
sleep well.
Not sleep.
We've done a lot of episodes on sleep because that's a real challenge for a lot of people. Yeah, it's hard.
Okay.
Especially as we get older, you wake up in the middle of the night and not fun. All right, okay.
Sometimes there's noises
What's your
outside.
partner's hidden talent that no one knows about?
Okay.
BJ's.
If I'm gonna take this to Benny's level.
What's her hidden talent?
I don't even know if I spelled that right.
That's okay. There's no spell check.
But what's her hidden talent?
Sleeping through the night.
I don't really have one. I don't.
They're all too public.
Oh, I know it. This is crazy.
This is funny.
I'm just loving the honesty, guys. You guys are really going there. It's beautiful.
We like to be honest.
Yeah, no, but it's so it's refreshing.
I'm dying to know.
It's right.
Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Listen.
Fart on cue.
Fart on cue. That's his favorite talent or his hidden talent.
She knows every episode of Friends by heart. Like
you and Riley both. Wow.
She knows all of the lines, every line. Like
and you could name what episode did this happen, and I could tell you what season.
Yeah.
Wow.
You should quiz her right now. I want to know if she's lying.
Oh.
It's crazy. I never even watched the show one time before her.
Yeah, same as me and Radhi. I didn't know. Radhi knows it really well, and I'm like,
I love it.
I need to catch up. All right, that was good. I like that. What's both of you as perfect date night?
How real am I allowed to be?
Just to be like I'm the worst at not wanting to do it.
No.
So that's the reality. She's the worst and doesn't want to do anything. Okay. How real am I allowed to be, manager of this relationship? Weird.
Old married couple. I love it.
Her idea of a perfect date night is like.
Oh, I have so many, but this one's just based on
hold on. Benny's planning the date night in his head right now.
Cut it. Cut this part.
Mine's
so boring.
really simple.
Really simple. She's falling asleep literally as she holds.
I never write. It's so weird.
It's
we're
strange,
always
isn't it?
texting.
You both got good handwriting for people who don't write, though.
We're definitely not saying the same thing. But that's okay. His is going to be so nice and romantic, and mine is just
farting on cue.
You guys literally remind me of me and Radhi with this.
Okay.
It's so funny. It's all right. 3, 2, 1. Reveal.
What's her say?
hot tub, Benny's food on a couch.
A romantic dinner with some small, thoughtful gesture, then something I can't write.
I was trying to think.
That's very sweet.
Is it sweet? I think he's saying they're gonna bang. She's like, "Baby, you want to do it?" Okay.
I like both the answers.
And you're right.
They're both good date nights. All right. What is Benny like on a flight? Because Benny notoriously does not.
How would I know?
She's never seen me on a flight.
Have you never done?
He does not fly.
I thought you told me you must have done it once. I thought you were
I've
going to
done it, but not since we've been dating.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's a blank.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
That's that one. Okay, give us.
What do you think Benny will be like on a flight?
I don't even know if I want to know because I would be so worried about him.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Was I supposed to write that?
No, that's fine. A mess. Yeah. No, for sure. It's a real phobia.
I think it's a big fear of his.
Yeah, and that's real. It's real. Makes sense. All right. Okay. A couple more.
Okay.
What's something your partner can do to make you laugh whenever you're in a mood? So even if you're in your worst mood, what can your partner do? Or what does your partner do that will always make you laugh? So far, Benny and Selena know each other very well. This is going.
No, they don't. What are you talking about?
Really well.
This is crazy.
This is so crazy. So crazy. This is crazy. Then your life is very boring.
I like the commitment from both of you.
Yeah.
Extremely competitive.
I love the commitment.
So wait, Benny, as you're writing, how did you used to get to New York to see Selena? Would you drive?
What do you mean? I'm about to do it in a week.
What, you drive?
Yeah.
From here to New York?
Yeah. I'd take the boat to Europe.
Okay. So explain that journey to us.
Oh my God, it's so long. It's like first you have to drive to New York and then you get on a boat for 8 days and you're on the Titanic.
That is amazing. That is real commitment.
What's yours?
All right,
Really?
3, 2, 1, go for it. Go on, read it, Selena.
Okay.
It says dance or rap or say a weird fact that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Wait, that's what you're gonna.
That's what you do to make her laugh.
Oh, that's what I do. Oh, I did what I do to her to make her laugh.
Oh, no. I wanted what the other person does
shit.
to you. That's what you did, Selena, right? That's what Benny does.
Yes.
Yeah. Benny, not because you rap as well. You're a good
She
rapper.
hates
Oh,
him.
I did
She's
what
like,
I do.
You're such an idiot. Look at her face right now. She's like, I hate this man, and he is so stupid.
Do to make her laugh.
Oh, go on. What did you write down?
I said I hug her and then get on top of her and then I do that little funny laugh thing.
That's true.
Okay, wait. What does she?
But what
do?
does Selena do that can make you laugh in any mood?
Whenever she wants, she like.
Selena's proven to be the better listener right now. So.
Okay, wait. So what is-
All I do is listen to her and hear her and respond to her, and he's like hasn't listened once.
Okay, let's give it. We got a good answer.
I love
What do you do that makes me laugh?
In any mood, like whenever you're in any mood, like what can they do? Like, yeah, like Radhi would burst out into song and dance, like randomly.
Yeah,
and it's like
yeah.
no relevance to anything.
I think my existence makes you laugh.
She'll make like she does like this like little face and where she like puts her head down and like looks at me and she's like, I can't even do it, but she'll do that. That'll make me laugh. And you'll usually get on top of me and
No, but he actually.
She'll get on top of me and go on.
This is really funny. When I try to get
Not gonna be funny, guaranteed. All right, let's hear it.
somewhat like heated, it's like he can't take me seriously, so he'll smile, and then I'll go from being like.
that's true. Yeah,
I love that.
whenever she
I
starts to get like angry, she's like, no. And I just laughed at her because it's so hard to take her seriously when
And
she's
then
like that.
I
'cause
laugh.
yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. That's usually how our fights are.
Yeah, Radhi hates it because whenever she gets angry, I'm like, "You're so cute." Like,
I
you're so
know,
cute
I'm
when
like,
you're angry.
no,
So what are you
but
talking? I'm not
thank
cute.
you.
She's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
She's
Same
like,
thing.
I'm not cute. I love that. That's
Aw, belittling your partner. I love it. It's so funny.
Okay,
awesome.
whatever.
All right. What's the one thing they can't live without apart from you? So about your partner. So Benny, you're writing about Selena. Selena's
Yeah.
writing about you. What's one thing your
This
partner
is so
can't live
easy.
apart from you?
This couldn't be easier. Guaranteed.
What do you mean?
Guaranteed.
Like an
Easiest
apology.
answer I could have ever thought of. That's the best question you could have ever asked me. I'm 100% right.
What's the question?
Something you can't. Well,
What?
What is it? 3, 2, 1.
Mom,
Oh,
space heater. That's true.
explain this space here.
Okay,
Space
so
heater?
I have a very weird.
It's a white box that you turn on. It has a dial and it's warm. And did you know that Whataburger is a restaurant?
Weird problem. It's not even a problem. It's just a me problem. I'm a very cold person.
Got it.
My
Emotionally.
temperature usually on my space heater is 90, and I let it go all over. And if I get hot, I just open the door and then close it again. It's
Nice.
so backwards
no.
and so weird.
Temperatures are hard to. Everyone's got a different different vibe. Trust me. Our office next door, the team's always arguing over what temperature the room's at. Some people want it really cold.
Always,
Some
but
people want it really hot.
We have a system. So
Yeah,
it
you have a
works.
system.
She
that
always wants it hot.
I love it. Okay. What's
Some like it
something the
hot.
other person is really competitive about?
What are you competitive about?
I'm really not a super competitive person.
No, I don't know what she's. Tell me.
I
what you
don't
are.
think I'm.
Tell me what.
Selena's not competitive.
Oh, I was gonna.
Games.
I was gonna say you are about games, but then you don't care anymore. Like you're competitive for like the first 5 minutes.
And no, that's true. And then I'm start to think, it's okay.
Yeah, she's competitive for like 5 minutes.
That's true.
Okay.
I love it. I love it.
I love
All
it.
right. So, okay, last
love
2
it.
questions.
Okay.
Okay.
Too many questions.
Actually, I'm going to go for the last one
Thank God.
because you both are big on this. I've heard from Benny. What's the other person's most memorable gift they got you?
Whataburger.
That he's given me, right?
Yeah,
So the most memorable one she gave me.
correct.
Okay.
Oh, there's so many, but
Yeah, the one, there's no right answer.
I know mine right off the bat.
this is just the only one that I can think of, but there's so many.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's the only one I can think of.
Oh,
though.
sorry. It's so bad.
You saw his?
No, I didn't. I just saw like a word.
I love the commitment, Selena. I'm so
trying.
impressed. It's amazing. You're the best. That's like, all right.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Who's going to, all right, talk about
Jay.
it?
Oh, that was a good one.
Okay, explain. Go ahead, Selena.
This one is a picture from the set of Will and Grace. I thought it was extremely thoughtful because that's one of my favorite shows, and you can see it in the background of almost all the episodes.
No, I got her an actual piece of art that's in Will and Grace from the set. Yeah, I got.
That's what I said.
I knew the
you
guy.
freaking idiot.
My
I hate
friends.
you. I mean, oh, we're so perfect together. She looks at him angry. The only time she looks over there is when she's like got an angry face. I'm just gonna say.
That's a
brother
great gift.
wrote it, and I got her for one of her birthday presents. I got her an actual painting.
Yeah, the honeymoon game is supposed to be like, what's like Selena's favorite ice cream flavor, and he's supposed to guess, and she's supposed to reveal the answer. He's doing this game wrong. He's asking people different answers. Why would you have to write it down? Yeah, it's stupid.
It's hung up.
This is the best podcast in the world. they don't. I don't know. I don't know.
Up in Will and Grace, and when I gave it to her, the day I gave it to her, she was watching Will and Grace, and it was on the TV.
It is so cool.
And
That's dope. That's a great gift.
And mine's a framed picture of our first text where we fell in love. Like the first one where we decided we were going to go out on that date. She framed it and like made this like cute. She like made like did all these designs.
It's like macaroni and like glitter.
It was so
I
cute.
love that.
So
That's a
cute.
great gift. Guys,
Is
you
it?
guys-
That was one of them.
It's so weird to me. I know I have biasy, but like she seems like she's a teen girl, maturity wise, and he seems a little bit more mature. He's also older, but I don't know. That gift seems like the gift that he gave her, even the Whataburger also, and the Will and Grace thing. He seems like he's listening to her and taking the things that she says and then giving her things that are related to that. She's giving him a text message picture of something that she's made. I don't know. Something about that doesn't seem like he seems like a better gift giver, at least, at the very least. I don't know if it means anything beyond that, but I would prefer his gift giving style than hers. Macaroni frame? You're in your 30s. What's going on?
Amazing. Selena
And you're a billionaire. I don't know. Maybe he should get him a watch or something.
and Benny, you are truly two of the most special people. I'm so glad you found each other.
Thank
and
you.
I am
Two of the most special people. Okay.
always rooting for you guys. I'm forever in your corner in every possible way. I love you both deeply and know that I'm always rooting for your love. And so,
Thank you so much.
yeah, genuinely so grateful
They'll be broken up in a year.
for you.
Do you want me to get you one of these boards?
Are you writing more? What are you writing? Come on, I expected a heart or like a hug or some sort of emoji.
I'm
Benny.
gonna buy. Now I know what I'm getting you for your birthday.
Yeah.
He's obsessed with these
Thank
things.
you. Thank you. I love it. You can take them.
He's obsessed with these things. Oh, man. We're clapping because it's over. We're clapping because it's done. That was painful. Thank you to whoever recommended that. Someone in my comments recommended it. I was like, oh, yeah, Jay Shetty and Selena and Benny. I can't escape those two. I hear every TikTok is about like, oh my God, this couple's so in love. They're so in love. He's worshiping her like the queen that she is. And I'm like, okay, at some point I should talk about it. I think we should go into the kidney story again. I know it's a long old thing, but like that is where more of the controversy, I think, is more juicy in her life. I don't know. I don't know all of her medical things. I think she gets away with a lot, personality-wise and annoying-wise, because she's got medical issues. But I wonder how much of that is PR'd, too, to make it so that she doesn't get to have any criticism. I'm just saying, you know. It seems like she got a little protection because she's got medical things. But I'm like, she can work 14 hours a day and perform and do all this stuff, but yet she can't. I don't know. Okay, sorry. Sorry. I know that's controversial. I apologize. Okay, so I'm going to sing my song. Tara and I are going to chill out and watch some 1923 Season 2, my newest show that I'm watching now on television. Are you guys watching The Rehearsal Season 2 as well on Sundays? Gotta love it. So good. Evanescence on loop in these headphones the whole time I'm streaming. Just kidding. Also, Last of Us, anyone? I have Sunday night plans always to watch these shows from now until, I don't know, 6 more weeks. I had Severance, and now I got these shows, so we did it. We did it, everybody. My life revolves around television once again, just like we're in the 90s. I'm working on some videos. Taro's working on some videos, right? She's going to write all my scripts for me, and then we'll post them. Okay. Thank you for listening. We'll find a better interview next time, next week, next Thursday. And if you have suggestions, please let me know. Excuse me. If you're a member, you can comment on any of the posts that are in the community tab or get added to the Reddit. I need to go back and add some people who are on the list. Or you can DM me on Instagram and I will watch the videos on the stream, but make sure they're exciting and interesting. Thank you. Okay. Toodaloo. Goodbye. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. Hey. 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 Starry nights. You are a fly on the wall, buzzing around, looking like a crown on Nicole Campbell's head. Queen energy to the end. A console. Are you a prince or a princess or a duke or a duchess? You are so awesome. Thank you so much. Hey, Chelsea Marie. 1, 2, 3. That's how many times you get thanked. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Chelsea Marie. Alaska Blood Tundra. I'm gonna thank you 100. I'm gonna do it really fast though. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You did it. Cara Soto. What do you know? Ho. I'm just kidding. You're not a ho. Maybe. How am I supposed to know? Live your life. Do what you want. Oh, Lisa B. What about thee? Do you like going out to party? Hey, no judgment. Lillian Massey. Oh, that's good. Lillian Massey, we got a feature. Taro says meow. Lillian Massey. Taro says meow. Chris Johnson. Taro says meow to you too. Uh-huh. Rob Sheehan. What about the crew? Taro's in the crew. She's the leader of the crew. She's the capo of the crew. Rebele Fuentes. You too. You could be the underboss. You can be the mafia head. You can be the father of the family. Mary. You could be the mother of the family. And we shall carry on after keeping calm. Tara just swiped the fly. She's awesome. Oh my. Get him, Taro. Get that fly. My oh my. We got an organic pest control. Taro is on the prowl. She ain't throwing in the towel. Never, ever. Good night, everyone. See you next week.